Flip mode. Bust a bus. 9-7.
I think Quinn gives this team the best chance to win. Our focus is obviously to win the next 3 games, but in particular, like I tell the players, we are focused on beating the Bengals. So that was the motivation. Zach will be backing him up, and Tua will be the emergency third.
Wow. There you have it. And 100% joins me this morning, and he was right on the money. Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel. And by the way, later on, Kim Bocamper will be in. He's got some stuff he's doing, and we'll go around the NFL later on with Brian Baldinger as well, with just a great I tell you what, the NFL, when they put these schedules together, before we get back to all the good stuff, when they put this thing together, Dave, they have no idea what it's going to look like late in the year. And they literally, this is the 3rd week in a row, it's looked like the playoffs have started with these matchups. This tonight, what they have tonight.
Great one tonight.
And we have nobody in the party here, but the Rams at Seattle, both teams 11-3 in the same division. Probably the 2 best teams in the NFC.
Although I was reading, if Seattle wins tonight and San Francisco wins out, San Francisco, without Boza, without their middle linebacker
out,
they will not only win the NFC West, they will be the number 1 seed in the conference. They're an amazing story. So that division, division is the best in football.
That's amazing what they're doing. By the way, he has done a great job out in San Francisco. You're
Coach
exactly
of the year,
right.
Coach of the year stuff.
So we got all that, and then you look Tampa Bay at Carolina, both 7-7, playing for the NFC South. I mean, this just goes on and on with all these great games coming up, and so we'll have that later on in the show. But so you just came out, my man, and first of all, you were right. It was 100%. It was a no-brainer. Thought out very well by you, what Mike had said the day before, and being out there. And by the way, you were there, it seemed like, for about 7 hours yesterday. Blame 7 years of Dolphins dysfunction, not Tua, for failure.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're done with Tua. You look back now you put the obituary together.
We are done with him, by the way. I know it was a nice follow-up, but
no, he's done.
You're the third guy. He won't take play. The rest of the year off.
Yeah, and as an aside to that, the last thing they want him to do is get hurt, because then they're on the hook for more money, the way it works with injury compensation. But so you wrap up 7 years, going back to the tank year of Tua, and it is one bad decision by the Dolphins hierarchy after another. Now, I know Chris isn't here. Chris Greer, not fired.
They put him in charge, though, of the 2 biggest drafts in history of the franchise. Go ahead.
And that gets to the dysfunction of, why are you putting Chris Greer in charge of this? He's already passed on Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. He's shown no ability to draft a quarterback. And there's only a few people, to be fair, you could look at their portfolio and say they really know how to judge quarterback. It's a hard position to judge.
I think GMs are scared to death of it.
Yes. I think he was scared to death. Especially.
No basketballs whatsoever to go up and get Buffalo Bills when Josh Allen's our guy. I don't care that he's a 55% completion guy. I'm watching him. I'm watching who he's throwing to. I'm watching his makeup. And that dude's got something that's going to be real special besides just the big arm that he's had his whole life.
Lamar Jackson was the best player in college football. Forget winning the Heisman. He was the most dynamic player. And the Dolphins, they were scared of Josh Allen's accuracy. They were scared of Lamar Jackson. We're going to have to build the whole offense around him.
Right.
What did they do with Tua? They had to reconstruct their offense to fit his game. I mean, you always form a little of the offense around a quarterback, but so going back over the years, then they put Chris in charge. They draft Tua over Herbert, which looks really bad now.
It was bad then. It was bad then. It's bad now.
Yeah,
it's worse.
Then you go on. You were told by Brian Flores, the bad guy for years around here. And he had a brusque personality. I get it. A lot of people didn't like him in the building. A lot of people didn't like a lot of really good coaches either.
I thought he had a little Belichick in him without the resume.
A lot of Belichick in him without the resume. But first of all, you hire him, and you don't even go into, look, we want to tank, because this is a guy who is not going to. He's going to coach for every Sunday. He's not built that way.
I'm not losing. I'm going to play the best guys. And by the way, it wasn't like they asked everybody to play half speed. It was just they're going to play Josh Rosen, who clearly could not play in the league. Arizona. By the way, you want to talk about another mistake? This not the day for it. We give up a 2 and a 5 for a guy that they gave up on. I'm sorry, you don't give up a second-round pick to see if a guy can play or not. I'm not buying it. Fifth, maybe, not a 2 and a 5.
In retrospect, you're right. At the time, I thought, look, he was a top 10 pick. This is what you do when you're looking for a quarterback. But he couldn't even. He didn't even look good in practice. So they should have. So
he had a lot of stuff going on too, without getting into his personal stuff. He had lots of stuff going on. I just know all the stories.
But if they had played him that,
but I'm not going to say him this morning.
If they had played him that tank season, it would all worked out. If somebody had stepped in to Brian Flores and said, we're going to cut Ryan Fitzpatrick and play Josh Rosen. I mean, someone had to be that big.
We did so many radio shows and so many articles on that. Let me tell you the problem with that. Ryan Fitzpatrick, every guy on the team knew Ryan Fitzpatrick was a much better leader and a much better quarterback. The coach knew it. He went along with the Josh Allen thing to start. And that day he finally said, I've seen enough of Josh Allen. He got up in a team meeting and said, we're going to try to win every friggin' game. And Fitzpatrick's a quarterback.
The problem was the mission statement of that season was to lose from the front office, but the coach you hired the wrong coach is what I'm saying. Brian Flores, I thought Brian Flores was a great coach as far as, if you want to win and you want to build something, he was great, but he was the wrong guy for what they were trying to do. So then you move on, you bring in Mike McDaniel.
The Tua and Brian thing was terrible.
Well, that was, he didn't like Tua from the start. He wanted, what he wanted to do? He wanted
the Tennessee cold weather blowout was
the halftime blow up.
I'm not sure when it took place because I was home.
Yeah.
I was home with sickness, but it was crazy. No, we can go through this whole thing, and but anyway, here we are today. Not all the way through his 6th year, and he's been benched to third string. Quinn Ewers. By the way, I'm just telling everybody, let me be the first. Be patient with the 7th-round quarterback who has not played since that game and did not look good in a little bit he played against Cleveland. Am I right? Was that the Cleveland game?
Yeah.
So, and the good news is you couldn't handpick a better game for a young quarterback to play. You're playing a defense in Cincinnati. They are the worst defense in football. They're the worst running the ball. Run defense is horrible, giving up 5.2 or 3 yards per carry, meaning every 2 carries is a first down. They give up a ton of yards. Then the other part of this is, how about Zach Wilson going, I hear Tua might be getting benched, honey. And they go, you're going to stay the backup. 3 left, and he's gone.
He wasn't happy about that. He talked about that in the locker room.
All those guys talk, by the way. Great job by the organization. Let's get it all out there today.
Absolutely.
Let's get our counseling done, and then let's move on with this game.
I thought that was great. That Tua talked and was very professional. He said all the right things.
Best press conference he's had.
Yeah, where
he's been here.
You didn't walk away saying, "Why did he say that?" He said everything right. Look, I'm going to help. I'm going to lead in the way that I can. And
Dave, he wins every day. Dave, when it's said and done, this team will have paid him $200 million in guaranteed money from a signing bonus as a rookie to this contract. It's going to be, not that I looked it up last night, but it's going to be $200 million, the highest paid Miami Dolphin player by far of all time.
What were they thinking? They had him for 2 years, and a first-time head coach walks in and says, we need to sign him to $50 million. And Mike McDaniel fell in love with him. Mike brought him out.
Coach.
He's the coach. Who's the general manager? Who's the team president? Who's the owner? They got to stand up and say, for the protection of the franchise, we're not going to sign him to a $50 million contract. He's not that guy.
Well, the other part of this is was thinking last night, everybody, you can imagine, I'm sure your phone was blowing up all night, and I was sitting in my office most of the night after having a lot of coffee and sitting around, and everybody started calling and had their opinion and whatever. And, everybody likes to let you know what they think and everything. And I was just like, he used to throw the ball a lot better than he does right now. I can't explain what happened to those throws 30 or 40 yards down the field. That they are ducks. They are no longer the 30 or 40 yard throws he was making when he had that nobody could figure out how to stop that pass game.
Yeah, I don't know what I think.
2 great years.
I'm just guessing his
had.
body is deteriorating right now.
I don't know.
That's the only thing I can come up with.
I had a list of things that, finally for Mike to meet with his coaches, Frank Smith and Bevel and Slowick, all coordinators behind their names, how bad he had to be to make that decision. Reads, decisions, throws, throwing in the wrong place, throwing into double coverage, command of his footwork, which we heard the week before, his eyes in his footwork. We're going to guys going into his 6 years, and you're talking about something you should be talking about with a rookie just coming into the league. Huddle presence, lack of awareness, physical limitations. I think playing super cautious because of concussions and being told that you got to be careful, and then making plays the last couple of games. And that one hurt us, that run that's short of the first down. He had another one that against the Saints, he slides early when he's dancing on the floor and looked like an idiot.
Typically, when you have a running game like the Dolphins have had the past month, the quarterback is helped to the point that,
well, yeah, you got a good running game. You're usually throwing play
that's
actions, got guys
thing.
wide open.
That's your best friend, right? And yet their game plan had to be so limited with Tua.
Yeah.
The obituary on the season is, I think Quinn Ewers gives us a better chance to win. A 7th round rookie who has
Drop the mic.
Who not only has never played in a game, he said yesterday he's never taken a practice snap with the first team because he's been on the scout team all year.
Yeah, and he came in that one game. The game was over after Tua threw the pick 6 to start the third quarter against Cleveland, and the game was over at that point. A little bit like the last, actually a lot in common with that last game, and they put him in at the end of the game. And look at that was a disaster against Cleveland. He got sacked twice.
Yeah, I think Garrett Miles.
He threw one. A guy dropped it.
Yeah.
Safety came over and went through his hands. It was just like, oh boy. So anyway,
so this is a tryout, right? I mean, this is what do we got in Quinn Ewers?
Well, listen, we've got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of sound this morning from yesterday, as again, Ann and the staff over there to get the coach out there, Tua, Quinn, and I guess Zach Wilson spoke yesterday too. You got all the characters from the quarterback position going forward. Zach, how do you feel? You're still the backup, and Quinn Ewers moves to the number 1 position, and the coach, as you just said, comes out, and you heard the soundbite. He gives us the best chance to win, and what he should have followed up with a big, strong running game behind him. with a strong running game behind him, we're going all out this last 3 games. Hey, I'll tell you who else is going all out for the holiday season, man. I've had such great results with Atlantic Men's Clinic. I know a lot of my buddies have been giving me a hard time about carrying on, about getting rid of low T and ED. And I said, listen, man, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I had it full blown. It was bad. And it did make me feel better when I went to Atlantic Men's Clinic and got tested for the T and the PSA test and got the test dose done and everything else, and met with their professional staff. And every guy's going to have this. Boy, it made me feel better. Every guy's going to go through what I went through. Low T, tired all the friggin' time, and ED, where your sex drive is gone. Not hit and miss, like, today was good. Oh, what happened? And if you're going through that and it's messing with you and you like to get rid of it, you can. It's that simple. It really is. It's the right way. It's a professional way. It's a safe way. Atlantic Men's Clinic works, man. I want you to schedule that for the holiday gift. I can't think of anything better than turning back the clock 15 or 20 years where you get your energy back. Whether you used to go on walks, now you don't. You used to play a little favorite sport, pickleball or tennis or something, or golf all the time, and now you're tired all the time and making excuses. You've gained 10, 15, 20 pounds. Atlantic Men's Clinic's going to get this flipped around for you. You got to set up that first appointment. I can't think of a better holiday gift to give somebody if you're going through this and dragging through the holiday season. All you have to do is call 877-455-7300 or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Set up that first appointment. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. A brand new location in Hollywood. I go to Plantation. I'll be seeing them today, matter of fact. Can't go wrong. Atlantic Men's Clinic works.
This
right, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. All day Dan Day with us again today. Woody's got another day off. He'll be back tomorrow, which I didn't know last night, Dave. Sorry about that. Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel with me going, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
You thought I was just inviting myself to the party
I go,
every
man,
morning now, huh?
You must really like getting up at 4 a.m, and nothing like getting up early. Jamie, my boy, back does a great job with all our stuff also in here. Jamie, did you go on that date last night, or did that thing fall through, or how'd it go last night?
It's tonight. I told you.
It's tonight. I'm sorry.
We're fired up for that date. I'm not
I'm
fired
fired up
tomorrow.
I know. I'm gonna text you. I'm fired up. See what happens.
Oh yeah, I'll give an update tomorrow for sure.
But he thinks this might be swiping success. This one. So we're going to see if he's having swiping success.
I don't know that he doesn't seem like the kind who, if this doesn't work out, I'll get the next one, is what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. This kid bounces back.
Oh, yeah.
You can, like, this girl tonight could say, hey, to be honest, I'm with somebody else, and I'm just not really interested in you, but I just want to tell you to your face. And he's moving on.
You know what, Joe? It's funny you say that, because I don't know. I'm a little nervous about it right now because she went to the Panthers game last night, and she didn't tell me she was going to the Panthers game last night.
Well, she might have had someone else taking her. Is what you're saying, right?
That's what I'm saying, Dave.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not going to get all up in arms about it.
Don't get all insecure, man.
You're jealous. You haven't been out with her, and you're jealous.
Oh my God,
that's what I'm saying.
I forgot to tell you, I was a very insecure creature with women. So yeah, don't do that.
It was a good date probably at the Panthers too, because they won. The building's happy.
Hey, by the way,
pressure's on you.
She had great seats. She had great seats. She's up getting free drinks up at the top.
I don't know. I texted her. I was like, "Oh, how was the game? Who'd you go with?" And she was like, "Oh, I went to a friend. How was your night?" Quickly changed the subject. That's never good, Joe. I don't know.
Great read by you, by the way.
Yeah.
It's probably
I don't know. We'll see how it goes tonight. I'm supposed to see her.
Feeling a little insecure,
hey, listen,
I think. He's
but I will.
I
I was a professional getting blown off, or a girl that was trying to be nice about it, because I had a few of those. And again, if I'd have just stayed out of a couple of those sororities, I would have never had any problems. But I knew right away, like the DGs.
Wait. Claudia's listening. Be careful.
No. The DG house was just out of my league. They were good looking. They came from money. I was ugly and came from none.
Joe, you're a big athlete on campus there. What do you mean? Now,
I didn't know about all the spoons. And first time I went on a date finally with a girl that had some money, and she took me down to meet her family in a super wealthy neighborhood, and they served out, like, I'd never seen, like, more than one spoon and all these different knives and forks for different things that are being served. And then I went to eat, and she grabs my hand and tells me,
Jamie, we're not meeting the family, all right. Well, Joe, you're meeting the family and everything, right?
Date?
No, Joe's too busy with those peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah. By the way,
well,
once you find that sorority, then you're in business. Maybe not the best looking sorority, but great girls, grounded, down to earth girls. I like that. There's nothing wrong. Hey, anyway, let's get back. By the way, man, just to give this Dolphin thing and the obviously huge story, Tua has been benched. Now going to be the third quarterback, emergency quarterback at that, with 3 games left in the 6th season. But what's going on with Texas A&M? Talking all this, and if I could say the word and not get in trouble, I'd say it, but I'll just say talking trash. My God. If this doesn't work, and if Mario's not aware of it, this Texas A&M team has no respect, none, for this Miami Hurricanes team. And by the way, it's not like they're going after, young guys. They're ripping Ruben Bain, and like, he's not that good. We're not worried about him. Their pass rush is nothing. They're just talking, we're not really worried about them. Like, we've seen better teams. And I'm like, holy smokes, man.
Joe, the latest one was yesterday. Their running back was Ruben Owens II. Now, Miami's one of the strengths of their team is a run defense. I think they ranked 7th in the country. No one's really one team did run well on them.
Virginia Tech.
But that was the exception to the season. So a reporter asked Ruben Owens II, the running back at Texas A&M, reporter asked, how do you approach a defense that has made their bones stopping the run game? And he said, I wouldn't say it's much of a challenge. They said Mizzou had a good run defense, and we put over 200 yards on them. I mean, there you go. If bulletin board material works,
I believe
there you go.
When somebody goes out of their way a few days before a game and actually, listen, by the draft, Ruben Bain, I don't know how it's going to finish, but he's got this tackle saying, we face better. I'm not worried about him. I mean, a guy that's going to face you directly is talking trash. Like Ruben comes from a tough little neighborhood in that central northwestern community. Like that stuff, those kids talk a lot of trash. Ruben's seen it all. And he and Mesidor and Moten in the middle and the rest of those guys, I mean, they're just lack of respect. So it's funny. They're talking about their pass rush, and we're not worried about their offensive line. And honestly, this pass protection this year is some of the best pass protection I've ever seen
it's a wall. It's been a wall.
I'm not saying run
Carson
blocking.
Beck.
I think the pass protection has been incredible, and it was last year too. But this year, I think it's even better. Now, run blocking, hit and miss. I don't know if it's been as good, and people try to always tell me, well, it's been the run blocking I thought would be better, but the pass protection, those guys can block.
Well, and beyond that, Miami has a complete team. I mean,
yes, it's not like you go, I'm worried about this group.
Right. They have
for the first time,
yes,
in 20 years. Because last year had weaknesses.
Well, the defense was a disaster by the end of the season.
That secondary could not find a football if it hit them in the head.
I mean, the Syracuse game where they got scored on that will. But they changed defensive coordinators. You know, there's the one thing Mario is cold-blooded about. If a guy's not working out, or change both coordinators after his first year.
No, he
changed the defense.
He went in transfer portal. He just literally brought in a transfer portal full of secondary guys.
And remember when Al Golden and Mark D'Onofrio, you know, that was why don't they change coordinators? Well, good friends. Now money might have played a part of it too, but the point being, if Mario doesn't see something that's working, he's immediately going out to change. And they brought in Corey Heatherton, who's been very
fantastic, done a great job.
Yeah,
listen, their numbers don't lie at this point. You've played 12 games, but I got to tell you, and I get it's an SEC school, and I know everybody in the SEC thinks their what doesn't stink, and they think they're just a little bit. But boy, I'll tell you what, we'll find out. Maybe they're right. But I got to tell you, man, I look at matchups, and I know the only common opponent I can think of, Texas A&M and Miami both beat Notre Dame in tight ball games, and they did it at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame lost at Miami. But, well, I'll tell you what, I just don't see watching Texas A&M against Texas, and maybe that's a bad example. It's the only game they've lost. But, boy, they're talking a lot of trash, man. What? I'm just weird. It's weird the coach hasn't said, honestly. Why would a coach not say so? When this first thing came out about we're not worried about Ruben Bain and Mesidor, we got a whole bunch of guys like this. Basically, they're just guys. We have to do anything. We're fine, and which is fine. I mean, you say whatever you want, but the coach comes out the next day and he goes, "Oh my God, I don't know what those guys said, but Ruben Bain, my God, and Mesidor, as good as we're going to face." I mean, he did the coach talk. But he's got his guy. So I don't know what they're saying privately, but I can't wait. This just adds to Saturday at 12 or 12:30 when that game starts. And you can hear it right here, obviously, on QAM. But, yeah, they are talking a ton. I call it SEC smack, like, oh, we play in a conference. We don't lose the teams you lost to. We're friggin' good. You guys are nothing. And
well, the thing is, I haven't followed Texas A&M. I don't know if this is their personality or they feel
they got a damn good team.
Yeah, they're good, but there are probably 10 teams that are good right now that you wouldn't be surprised if they win the national title. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami makes a run here. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose at Texas A&M either. That's the point. There are so many, close teams, good teams, but Miami's a very thorough team.
Short of, there's been no signs of them getting blown out, number one. Obviously, we do know if they have a whole bunch of penalties and 80 or 90 yards of plays get called back, which happened in one game, they killed themselves with the amount of penalties from offensive linemen down the field to wide receivers blocking as their guy next to him's catching a football and all these things that happen, or turning the ball over 4 times. That you turn, if Carson turns it over 4 times, those 4 picks, that's probably going to be the kiss of death in Texas A&M. It will be. But, man, as far as just matchups physically, nobody's going to sit and tell me that Texas A&M is clearly better at every position.
Look, Miami over the last month looked like the team I thought after the Notre Dame game they'd be. And those 2 stumbles were I was shocked at the second one. SMU, they played like that in the loss. So, but they found their footing in the last month and became the team that, if you're Texas A&M, I don't want to face. I'm certainly not, talking down Miami at this point because
I'm glad that Texas A&M has no respect for him at all. I'm glad. I mean, it is clear. Like if you're getting up early this morning and you haven't seen or heard how they feel about you, they just think they basically are playing just another Division I school out there. They really are. By the way, Keontae Scott is probable, which is great news. We were talking about him yesterday. Yeah. He has just had an unbelievable season, and this extra time I see is probable for this game is just huge. But I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Kane's offensive line, man. And I don't expect you to run the ball for 200 yards against Texas A&M, but I do expect you to be able to block those guys. And they got some dudes on that defensive line. And on the other side, Mesidor, Bain, and Moten, people are going to be watching them because those dudes have called you guys out. Moten, of course, now defensive tackle, got another year of eligibility. Not sure if he's coming back or not, but he has turned into a 325-pound. He is really good at defensive tackle now.
And Keontae Scott in the secondary matters because one thing Texas A&M has, 2 great receivers. They have a really good passing game. So, between the pass rush that you're talking about and Keontae Scott, solidifying what's a really good secondary.
And for Mesidor and for Bain, look at honestly the pros when they make those decisions on how high those guys are going to go. They're going to be playing in the NFL. It doesn't matter. But this is the kind of game that the pros are going to look at like, okay, because you're not going to look at a team that's not very good and go, oh, you dominated them. They want to see how you play against good competition. And this is as good as you're going to get, man. It's a 1-loss team, lost to Texas in that big rivalry game, but that was it. So anyway, and speaking of that, Quinn Ewers gives us the best chance to win. He just came right out with it and said, I got to win games. He didn't go into detail with all that stuff. And you said, and I agreed, I thought Tua was as good as he's been all year in a press conference, which, by the way, he's had some horrible ones.
Yeah, he's had some bad ones. But, he stood at his locker. You made the point earlier that everybody was made available to talk, get it out of the way. And by the way, somebody on the team, I guess that's Ann. I assume Ann went to them and said,
let's get this done.
Talk. Yeah.
Listen, told Mike, I can hear Ann going, hey, let's get this over. You want to get on to this Cincinnati game? Today's got to be the day. This is a huge decision. It's a big story in the NFL, besides all the other teams that are playing for playoff positions, which is more important. But you need to get all the characters that are part of this, your 3 quarterbacks out there with you, and let's move on. And Mike handled it like, hey, I'm not getting into all these things. I'm moving on to Cincinnati, but this guy gives me the best chance to win. This is the backup. He's not happy. I understand. And Tua, what he should have said is Tua shouldn't say anything. Just take that 3rd position and just stand over there.
I'm surprised that Ewers was a pick, though. Not that it matters one way or another. It's probably 55-45, but Zach Wilson has the experience. He was brought in to be.
Zach Wilson's got 3 games, and he's going to be the first one out the door. This is 2nd year in a row on this rehabilitation.
Who's going to want him after Denver didn't want him with Sean Payton? his quarterback background is very well known. He had him as a third
I gotta
quarterback.
tell you, Mike
Mike
grabbed him early in free agency. That was the first guy they picked off, and he said, "Man, I love this guy at BYU." I'm guessing Mike was there the day he made the throw that they still show where he rolled out to his left and threw it 70 yards down the middle. I mean, physically, he's as gifted as he's a second pick.
But after a year with him, Mike's picking a 7th-round rookie over him. So
he's not thinking, well, I think he's got a chance to be. He just told me yesterday that Wilson doesn't have a chance to be my starting quarterback. Yeah. Hey, let's go to break here, man. We got a lot more stuff to get to as we continue on here on a Thursday. That's Dave Hyde, all day Dan Day. Jamie's back there and doing a great job for us as well. I just want to let you know, though, it's holiday season. Man, I didn't realize Christmas is getting here quickly. And yesterday I see my wife getting gifts for everybody. I'm like, oh, my God, I know she – I told her, please don't get me a lot of stuff, Oh, don't worry about me. I hate friggin' women say, don't worry about me. Because I know if I don't and I take her up on it, I'm done. It's over. Why are you so quiet? Oh, you didn't get a gift. Hey, I'm going to Beverly's Jewelers. That's it. There's nothing else to do. I'm going to Beverly's Jewelers. Jeff and Amanda, place I've been going for 35 years. Jeff and Amanda, Beverly's Jewelers, that great staff. Hey, if you're thinking about getting engaged, hold up on it, man. Before you save your money and you're looking at this and that, they got a stunning 3-carat certified lab-grown diamond, VVS Clarity, E-color set in a custom-made 14-karat gold engagement ring, and it's just $3,999. You got the money. You've already saved that up, and you have some money to do other nice things, like take her out with the family. 3-carat diamond ring for only $3,999. Hey, you can get something even bigger, different size, different shape, and for just a little more money. I'm telling you, it's a limited time offer. It's fantastic. It's the hottest thing Beverly's Jewelers has going right now. So if you're looking for a gorgeous diamond ring, $3,999. They got a huge selection of diamond studs, tennis bracelets, fine jewelry. I'm going to be getting to 70% off select pieces during the holiday sale. But they got something for everybody when you go to Beverly's Jewelers. They really do. They pay top dollar for your old gold, silver, and jewelry. If you need to get some cash with immediate payment, you can enjoy interest-free financing, free gift wrapping, and just a great staff to make sure you get exactly what you want. I'm talking about Beverly's Jewelers in Fort Lauderdale off Commercial Boulevard, a nice, big, beautiful store that you're going to get exactly what you need. You can go online to bevjewelers.com, but I really believe you need to go. Beverly's Jewelers, where South Florida gets engaged.
Let's go.
And welcome back. Happy Thursday morning to everybody. I know a lot of you are going to be taking some time off here pretty soon. Not us, man. We're going to try to walk through and continue to work here through the first of the year, because as many days as possible. Because we got 3 football games left. We got hopefully more than one college football playoff game for the Miami Hurricanes. We got the Panthers. All of a sudden, Dave, Panthers heating up. Everybody was a little worried, and Kachuk's out. He's still not back. Obviously, Barkov's out for the year. But they're starting at 6 of 7 now. Got 2 great wins on the road against Dallas and go to Tampa Bay and beat that Tampa Bay team.
It was a great road trip. You know,
it really was. Outside of the Avalanche, that was it. They left,
and you're like, oh, what's happening to them? Now they're on this tough road trip, and then they win last night. And, Bennett, Marchand, Rodriguez got hurt. So, that end of the game thing where Rodriguez shoots a rat at Marchand. Marchand had to throw the rat at himself. So they're having fun. You win 6 of 7, you're having fun.
I just think that thing is still a great story. And now maybe a little bit of an underdog because they've got some players out. But I got to tell you what, Lundell, Verhaeghe, Bennett, all those guys starting to pick it up on scoring to go with what Marchand has already done. But now 18, 13, and 2 and knocking. It's early in the season. I wasn't reading into anything anyway. But right there, fellas. Right there. All they want to do is get in. They're not worried about being a number one. This is not the NFL. We're trying to win the division to get home. They'll play you anywhere, anytime. They
need to start at some point getting bodies back, right? I mean, they need.
Kachuk's got to be close.
The Kachuk, supposedly the target was this outdoor game that's coming up at Marlin Stadium.
When is that? Depot Park.
Yeah. Or January 3rd, I believe. It's the first opening.
Wow, it's right around the corner.
They had a press conference.
How the hell are they going to do that?
It's gonna. I got to admit, I missed the press conference yesterday where they talked about how they're going to.
You had something else going on. That thing had to take a little bit of a back seat when you're getting ready to.
But I wanted to go out because they brought in the company that's going to be laying the ice, and
did they say the top's got to be closed?
I would assume, but.
That thing had melted in a heartbeat.
I missed the press conference. My son actually looked up tickets. He was thinking, I'm going to go to the game. He looked up tickets, $300 to go to the game. So there is, I guess there's demand for tickets.
Got to be a big crowd for that. Guys have won back-to-back championships.
Well, it'd be, 40,000? They're playing the Rangers. It's one of those novelty games.
Cool. And they're going to have great merchandise. Love to get one of those shirts for that. So, and Goldie, that's what you're going to get me, Gold. You're going to be down there. I just want to let you know, Goldie.
Holiday party.
Goldie, don't leave me out on that special edition game and the new stuff they're going to have out. I'd appreciate if you took care of me. So thank you, Gold, very, very much ahead of time. But, yeah. Hey, listen, man, they're not going away.
I love being around the Panthers because it's fascinating. Here they are. They've been to the finals 3 straight years. And I was kind of curious, is it going to get a little stale this year? Because we saw it with the big 3 with the Heat. By the 4th year, being around each other, they were tired. But I think all these injuries have changed the whole complexion of the season. It's not like it's the same thing. And it's a different and bigger challenge almost to get back this year.
The best story of this team by far is Marchand, what he has done to start the year. He got off to a great start. I mean, he was points and goals and all the other things he does. He is 36 years
old. He's a great 37. The other one, Reinhardt, he's playing without Barkov now.
Reinhardt.
How's he going to? His scoring is right at where it's always been.
Well, now they got them all going. Some of them got off to a slow start, Bennett and Verhaeghe, and they've really picked it up. And so now they got the big horses, man. That big group of core guys are. And by the way, I give Paul Maurice, he told me, he came on the show a couple weeks ago, he'll be on Monday morning with us. And Coach said, hey, don't worry. Because hey, what's going on, Bennett? He goes, there's a couple guys I'm telling you not to worry about, and Bennett's one of them. Don't worry about Bennett. He's made up differently. Do not worry about him. And you see it. Those guys are now on pace for really nice seasons again.
What a challenge for Maurice this year.
Patience. It's patience pills.
Yeah.
That's what he talked about with us. Dave, he was talking about, used to make that perfect pass and it was a goal. Now you got some young guys and it gets frustrating. Everything's set up right. You're doing everything right, and we're not getting because these guys aren't those guys. Those guys aren't the core that's been so successful with us. But, hey, listen, they're getting great experience. It's like this young Dolphin defensive line getting great experience. And listen, they're going to be a big part of this next year. Obviously, the big story we did not forget about, for those of you that just can't get enough of this whatever it is that's going on with the Dolphins, and I did not talk about things you don't see coming with the team. I did not see this coming. And by the way, too, we throwing picks early in the year in the fourth quarters, and I didn't see this coming. I just thought, hey, that's his guy. Mike went over the top to bat for him to get him that contract, and there is no way. And it just gives you an idea, because Mike did this on his own. He didn't get a call from the owner. It's time to bench Tua. I've had it. He looked, and when he left that game, even though he threw for 190 yards in the fourth quarter, Mike got together with those coaches and said, I can't keep going through these same conversations and the same things happening. Physically, he doesn't look right. Mentally, we should be able to throw the ball. I don't care who you're playing with. When you run the ball, the way we've been running it, the bad sacks, running straight backwards for 20 yards of losses on 2 sacks, and that awful third quarter. He just said enough, man, enough. And to make that decision with 3 games left, when that thing kind of started, and he started with this job, we're going to evaluate it, but it could be open. We need better quarterback play.
And there's the decision. He's not going to be back next year. I mean, that was the big question. What are they going to do with Tua? Is it because of his contract? Is he coming back? That's all settled now. The surprise to me that he went to him wasn't Tua's play, because it's been bad. It's the options. Just at this last game, Zach Wilson was the backup quarterback, and Quinn Ewers was the emergency. And now he's decided Quinn Ewers is better than Zach Wilson. And
I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
You think they because he's a rookie and
he's going to be here next year.
He's going to be here, so let's see what we got.
I think Zach Wilson,
that could be.
Zach's gone. Why would Zach come back here? Coach just showed his hand to you.
Well, yes, but I guess my point was Zach Wilson was the backup last week. Yeah. Meaning you thought he was the second best guy.
He said that little open competition, we've seen Zach Wilson's a backup. Yeah.
Yes, and so can he elevate his game as a starter? That was sort of the question all year, right? That was the question when you signed him.
Well, I thought
is there a Sam Darnold or a Baker Mayfield?
Right.
Does Zach Wilson have that chapter in him?
I thought I gave him the benefit of the doubt too. Like all those starts, even though that team is dysfunctional as could be, the Jets, I mean, over the top. Not that we have a lot of room to talk either. But I thought with all those starts, he was going to be the guy and get some chances. And obviously, Tua stayed healthy, so that took care of that one. The insurance plan is done. Anyway, hey, we're going to break here, Dave. We got a lot more stuff to get to. Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel in with us today. If you haven't had a chance, read the article. They're always good from Dave. Got a lot of stuff with the Miami Dolphins out there right now. Hey, I got to tell you, the main man is speaking again. Anthony Caliendo at the Business Broker Experts. He is absolutely the best business broker in the entire state of Florida. I got to tell you, man, he doesn't just list businesses. He packages businesses to sell, and that's what really makes him the best in the business. And he has got a book full of names of people that are getting a hold of him right now saying, hey, we're moving to South Florida. We're looking to buy a business. Doesn't matter what size, doesn't matter how specialized. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a chance he's already got somebody ready to buy your business. So it gets down to this. Are you ready to sell? Are you burned out? You tired of being tired? Are you tired of the stress that you have every day? It used to be fun. It's been great for you and your family, but maybe it's just time and you're ready to make that move. Well, I got to tell you, man, this is what he does. He puts you together. He'll find a buyer for you and get you rolling. And the bottom line is he's going to get you an exit strategy, get you the most important investment you've ever had, is the one you put all the time and effort into to make sure you get the most money possible. Anthony's got a program called the Biz Exit Experts Advisor Program, and listen to this. It can help you increase your business value by up to 71% or more before you even list it for sale. I'll tell you what, you got to at least meet with the guy to find out what he's all about. You'll be impressed. He's a go-getter. The main man, Anthony Caliendo, full of personality, but also a closer, a great closer. Dial 1-800-THE-MAIN MAN. That's 1-800-THE-MAIN MAN, and talk to him directly. Find out about Anthony, the main man. He'll flip your biz and cash you out big. 1-800-THE-MAIN MAN.
WQAM.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or at DoralVolkswagen.com. The Heat look to end a 5-game losing streak tonight at 7:30 in Brooklyn when they take on the Nets. Tonight at 9, Arkansas State against Missouri State in the Xbox Bowl. Of course, the Canes football team, they face Texas A&M Saturday at noon. Dolphins announced they will be benching $50 million a year quarterback Tua Tagovailoa for third-string QB Quinn Ewers plus edge rusher Matthew Judon has been cut. Miami faces Cincinnati this Sunday at 1. And the Panthers have won 6 of the last 7, defeating the LA Kings 3-2 last night. Carolina Hurricanes are in town tomorrow at 7. On to weather from Chill Zone AC, featuring reliable Rude AC systems. Make your AC great again. Visit chillzoneac.com. Temperatures rising to the low 80s. Slight chance of rain and partly cloudy skies. I am Dan Day. Time now to go back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Disappointed. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but, something out of my control.
Why do you think this has happened?
I would say the biggest thing, and it's being honest with myself as well, had been my performance. I haven't been performing up to the level and the capabilities that I have in the past.
Mike said that he was looking for a quarterback to play with conviction. Why do you think that you haven't played with the same conviction that he's looking for?
Not too sure.
All right, that was Tua talking about becoming the third-string quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, the emergency quarterback, third position. As Quinn Ewers will take over, Zach Wilson will be the backup. Cincinnati comes to town, who has the worst defense in the NFL. It's not me saying the worst. The numbers, total defense, the worst. Their run defense, dead last. And this ought to be a game for the 3 running backs to get a lot of work. And hopefully off this play action stuff. The old theory has always been, Dave Hyde's with us this morning from the Sun Sentinel, you get a running game going and that old play action, which, by the way, Tua has been very good at. The one thing he has done really well is rolling out good fakes, rolling out and hitting his tight ends out in the flat and turning it up. And those guys have tight end rooms have been pretty good here recently. Really, really picked up with Dulcich now in there as well. So they got 3 tight ends they're getting some production out of. But hey, man. We can say whatever you want, but you can cover it up. They did it for 4 games in the 4-game winning streak. But at some point, you need to have a quarterback when they start to stop your run, and Steelers did a pretty good job there for a while. You got to be able to throw it. And if you're still on the Tua train, I know what you're saying. Well, he needs another receiver. And then you're saying, well, the offensive line, which, by the way, you don't pay attention if you think this is an offensive line problem. Really do. Offensive line is no longer one of the worst in football. It's just not. Your eyeballs should be telling you that for the way they've been playing.
The grades tell you that. I looked up yesterday because I was curious. Pro Football Focus. It's a guideline, okay? Yeah. It's not the Bible. It's a guideline.
Not 100%, but yes.
But the offensive line, 4 of the last 6 games are their 4 highest rated games of the year. And if you average them together, that puts them at 16th in the league average.
That's where I have them.
And you take out their worst game out of that, they're 12th in the league. So the offensive line is playing fine right now. It's not dominant, but for what they're asking it's
you know how
good.
You defend people you love, and it's after a while you just have to go, all right. Not gonna sit here. I got guys that we got same guys on the text machine that want to fight every day about, we're out to get Tua and out to ruin his career. And I'm like, look, he's ruined his own career.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't need help there.
Yeah. So anyway, he's got 1 first down running the football, which is incredible for as many times he takes off and runs. 1 first down
this year, and that was early in the year. I think he's up to 11 straight games without a running first down, which when
he did something in the last game, I'm guessing Mike did not like. 3rd and 2 and got like 1. It felt like he ran forever too. It was like, oh, he's got it. And by the way, the sad part is he gets up and thinks he's got it. Then he turns around and he goes, I did it again.
He
Sounds
also
like a
did something
song.
after the
Whoops,
game,
I did it again.
joking with Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah,
and
man, that's all
just
a
not
bad look.
You're the face of the franchise. Now, it's the face of – he's the perfect face of this franchise because it's dysfunctional again. We're back to what – do they know what they're doing? That's where we are.
Dave, there is a lot of work to do. Is this the GM? Is Champ the GM? I like Champ Kelly. Hope it works out just because he's a go-getter. Now, we got to find out. I don't know. Is Mike 100% going to come back as your coach? Is that the guy? Has it already been discussed? As Mr. Ross already said, hey, because Mike and Mr. Ross talk a lot.
I don't want to hear, well, I really like Mike. I really like Chris.
I don't want to hear that. No,
so what? What does that have to do with anything?
Great communication does not mean you keep your job. Tell me what I want to hear.
So the Dolphins draft 11th right now. They're going to play 3 meaningless games. They need a quarterback. We're at the point in the season.
I got some people in my life that want Mendoza so bad. Oh my gosh. I've got some people telling me, get me Francisco Mendoza.
He's supposedly, as of now, he's not even the number 1 quarterback they're talking about. More from Oregon. Yeah. So I have no idea on that. I haven't even talked to scouts. I don't
know either.
All I know, Mendoza was a great college quarterback. It's a great story this year.
I tell you, in big games, he's made some throws at the end of games, some back shoulder throws. The throw he makes against Penn State on the comeback, going backwards on the blitz, throws a ball up high in the back of the end zone where only his receiver makes a great catch and somehow athletically keeps it. He's going to be a drafted NFL receiver. But what a throw. I don't know, it was 3rd or 4th down. It was some ridiculous, like it was a Heisman moment, man.
To the end of the back. Yeah. And I grew up in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio State. Indiana was the worst for my whole life. Indiana has been a downtrodden team.
Have been your basketball.
Nobody paid attention to football. So this is really weird to see Indiana at the top of college football.
Well, they got themselves a hell of a coach. I don't care what anybody says. That guy is listen and watch whatever he's doing because he's pretty damn good. Hey, so anyway, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel in with us this morning, and we've got that story. We got the Canes and Texas A&M just a couple of days away. Hell, they'll be flying out, I'm guessing, tomorrow morning to get ready for that game. And my gosh, I'm just shocked. Somebody made me aware of it a couple of days ago because I don't follow all the social media stuff. I'm an old guy and not very well connected with that stuff. They're going, man, those guys at Texas A&M are talking trash about some of the best players. They're not giving them any respect for the Canes. And I'm like, man, good. Think they're doing them a favor.
They're sounding like the old Canes. If you were to say which team sounds, because the old Canes,
well, A&M hasn't done anything.
You're right, the old Canes,
but they're an SEC school.
Okay,
they had one loss in the SEC.
They just lost to Texas. Last game of the year, they lost to Texas. So I don't see Texas A&M enough to know.
I don't either.
They're really good. They're not really good. I know they have a great passing game.
But
I will
great
tell
receivers. They're pretty much directly or indirectly talking about some of the best players on the Canes football team. This thing about Ruben Bain. Hey, well, Ruben Bain. Listen, everybody's seen the mock drafts, and they're going, "Whoa, what do you think of Ruben Bain? You got to face him." We'll be fine.
I don't think when you trash talk like that, are you trying to get into the psyche of your opponent? Because these Miami players, they grow up in the trash talking capital of the world. Ruben Bain, his uncle's Tolbert Bain. If you're an old time Cane fan,
Tolbert
you
Bain
know
could talk
Tolbert. And Tolbert Bain was one of my favorite guys around you. He would talk and talk and talk in such a fun way. So don't there's nothing that Texas A&M can say will get into Ruben Bain.
Our guys, and I just threw out one area, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful anywhere else that you've grown up. There's a lot of tough guys on that team. But I've been going that Travis Powell, that Central and Booker T and Northwestern. Those kids who grow up down there are tough kids. They start playing that tackle football when they're like 2. and it's big business. And by the way, a lot of those guys are playing in all the schools now. Those Dade kids from those tackle football programs, the big ones down in Dade, they spread out to Dillard and St. Thomas, and they're going to all the different schools now. Those are tough kids. And by the way, all the private schools are really good. They're all inner city kids. All those kids grew up and played together growing up. Now, they might have, as they got into high school, gone to some different schools. But I used to love, we're playing this private school. I go, yeah, full of inner city kids. What do you think? You think you're going to intimidate them when you go out by talking trash to them before the game?
All these state champions the past week at private schools of just the players you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know what Texas A&M is. This her personality? Again, I don't follow them enough.
I don't know.
It's odd, and usually a coach caps it. Right?
He tried to put I call it putting fires out right now. He's like, oh, I watched Ruben Bain, and hey, well, your players didn't think much of him. Well, oh my gosh, he's super. He's what a fine player, and that Mesidor kid on the other side. And man, I just hope they go out and just stick it to him. I really dislike Texas A&M.
Just from the way they're talking?
Just the way they're talking. Anyway, we'll find out, man. We'll find out, and hopefully, and I always say this, and I know they got the 12th man and all that stuff, and it's going to be a big crowd, and Texas A&M football is a big stuff, but they're not playing. I always, this whole thing about, they're not playing, but it's going to be loud. Carson Beck and those guys know it's going to be loud. So when you talk in the huddle, make sure everybody can hear.
Ouch. Ouch.
When you're in the huddle and you huddle up, get in the middle and get all those guys in there so they know the play, the snap count, what you might check to, all that stuff.
You're going to Tua said they couldn't hear me in the Joe, I talked about that in the press room yesterday, and he said that earlier in the year too. I miss that. This is the second time he said they can't. I'm not sure all the guys could hear me in the huddle.
From the time you get in college, that's going to be loud. We work on plays that there's no sound. There's just hands. They're just like, this is, I don't want to, listen, there's nothing else to be said.
The good news
He's
for the
emergency
Canes
quarterback. I don't want to get into
Carson Beck has played in the loudest stadiums in the SEC. Yeah. This is all his career. So this won't be any change.
It's a big game for him to play well too. He's trying to move up the draft board a little bit. Hey, Dave, we got to go to break here, man. We're running super late. I don't know what's going on with the time here today. Man, it's flying. It's working a lot faster than we are here. Times are good. Kim Bokamper is going to be in a little bit later on. He'll join us as well. And Brian Baldinger will join us, go around the NFL. By the way, Thursday tonight, a home run game, maybe the best Thursday night football game they've ever had late in the year. 2 11-3 teams, the Rams and Seattle. And then great games Saturday and Sunday. Oh, my God. What if you like the NFL, good stuff going on there. Hey, I want to talk to you about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage, man. He's got a new program out, amazing offer. It's called the Hometown Heroes Program. He's helping first responders such as law enforcement, healthcare professionals, educators, firefighters, and military vets with up to $35,000 in closing cost and down payment assistance with low fixed rates and no prepaid penalties. Give Michael a call and find out more. You can call or text him on his cell phone, 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. And learn more about the Hometown Heroes program. Going to get your mortgage for you quickly. Always going to get you the lowest rates. Go to Google reviews on the web. Choice Mortgage Reviews saying a lot of great things about Michael Kotze and his 30 years of experience. This man has no life, works 7 days a week. Call or text him, 561-441-2730, MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change. Stay there without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
WQAM.
All right, welcome back. Good morning to everybody out there as we continue on. Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel with us this morning. 2 days in a row. And I know you had a long day yesterday waiting. The coach, Tua, Zach, Quinn. I don't know if I'm going in the right order of everybody talking yesterday. Good job by the Dolphins, man. They got that right, and great job of getting that. By the way, smart too, right? You're going to move on at some point. Like, we can't be tomorrow talking about what happened with Tua. It's over. It's done. We got playoff football. We got games. How's Quinn going to look? What kind of throws he going to make? You know, Mike's not going to put him in a situation where he can fail. He's going to give him plays he's comfortable with, short throws.
Handoffs,
and lots of handoffs.
I think that's going to be a big play,
Little play
on
action.
Sunday.
Great call by you, Dave. A lot of handoffs.
But by the way, Carol G playing with the lead, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good all day, Dan Day.
Oh, he's all day, Dan Day, spinning music at night. He can do it all.
Hyde, man. Knowing Carol G.
Yeah, I know.
You can't get anything by Dave Hyde.
Que hubiera sido si antes te hubiera conocido. Yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah,
Wait a
I can do
second.
that,
So
Joe.
go
I had you as pure
I have
white.
skills. I have skills, Joe.
Where did that come from? The pure white old guy. That was impressive.
No, I can do. I've lived in Miami long enough. I had to learn some Spanish. You know.
Dave likes
You do all
Carol
your
G.
buddies down there finally. Besides eating all that great Cuban food that you're getting. I know you're getting a lot of that. Man, I'll tell you what. That is one thing. My wife and I have to have like once a week now. From a
Cuban
man
food.
knew
Really?
nothing about it. When I got here out of college, I was such a dumbass. I thought Mexican food was Cuban food. Can't remember. I just blanked out on our middle linebacker was a Cuban American.
Kiko Alonso.
No. When I played, going back,
Oh.
his dad owned a construction company in Dade County. I'm sorry I did this. And one day he goes, "You ever had Cuban food?" It was nice of him because he's a tough guy. He believed in the old school initiation, and he was a little tough on me when I got here. And going, "You ever had?" I go, "It's like Mexican." Because, I'm from California, man. Matter of fact, my town's half Mexican. And no. Man, since then, black beans and rice. Oh, God, the whole thing is great. You eat it very much?
Yeah, I mean, I live down here. I
I
eat
have
it
not
very
been
much?
to the-
Probably once every few weeks. I got a great Mexican place. Speaking of Mexican, great Mexican. It was probably the only really good Mexican place that I like, and Thai and Italian.
I don't
probably
trust
are the
anybody's
staples.
Mexican food back here, to be honest. After you
I
have
gotta bring you-
Tex-Mex,
I gotta
You're a
bring you one of-
California guy.
or you go to California.
No California guy respect.
I'm talking about mom and dad, little mom and pop shops all over Marysville, California. Little mom and dad. I don't even know if they have a license. They're just there, and and it's good. It's really good. But man, that stuff's great. There's some great, and I still haven't been to the famous place where they do all the
Versailles.
I've never been there.
You never been there?
Careta.
I was hoping one day you would take me down there.
I bet you were. You've been waiting for that, huh?
Well, everybody I know, and I see these things all happen there. A lot of big.
You whenever you want to come, you call me up, Joe.
Somebody's
We'll-
somebody's looking for a Cuban American vote. They go down there.
That's
They end up
right.
going down there to eat like, hey, I'm here. Look, I'm eating your food.
But there are a dozen Cuban places that are good and that I've been to. Now, I'm sure
Outside of mom and dad and grandma's cooking, I mean, you can't beat that. But let me ask you, like, if somebody came in and go, hey man, I want really good Cuban American food. Where'd you have them go?
I call up my Cuban friends.
No,
and say,
no,
"Hey,
don't
where's
do
the
that.
best-"
I asked you. You lived in Dade County your whole friggin' life.
Where would I go? Well, let's
Now
put it
you're
this way.
stuttering through
Let's
this.
put
It's
it this
not
way.
good.
I have taken them to Versailles because it is the classic place to go.
And that's why I want to go one time.
Versailles.
I have never been there.
Joe,
I
come on
friggin'
now.
played down there. I've never been there.
It's very simple. We'll go after the show for lunch one day.
Yeah. Anyway, but I always see it gets more pub on TV than it.
All the politicians.
Oh, they're all there. They must have some great stuff and sports. I
You
hear
know
all
what?
the
And
sports guys go
and,
down
and
there.
the history of pictures on the walls is something to see.
Yeah,
So
I got you. No question about it. Anyway, hey Dave. Besides all that, and we're gonna have Bo's actually taping Coach's show right now, and he'll be in after that, and hear what Bo has to say. Hey, there's something else going on. maybe it's not the time. You don't think this Giannis Antetokounmpo situation, you think he gets traded here? A lot of people think we got a really good chance.
Well, here's the question.
Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, throwing in draft picks. Somebody else said maybe Jaime Jaquez, who's having a really good bounce-back year.
They would put
They're
all
cold.
those guys in a second for Giannis. The question is,
31 years
where
old.
does Giannis want to go? Because that's the way it works in the NBA. He tells the team where he wants to go, and then they work it out.
Yeah, but some of the teams said they can't do it. Like, originally it was New York. It was the Knicks, and I think they pretty much said,
yeah,
we got a good team the way it is.
But in other words, he'll tell them, okay, I'll go there, and I'll go to the Heat.
Can you imagine he and Bam playing together?
That would be tremendous.
that,
you could make it. You could make it work. You could.
That
make
was my
that work.
first thought, and then all of a sudden, all those guys playing with those guys will be a lot better.
And all of a sudden, all the fans who say, "Well, Bam can't do this and he can't do that," it's not his fault. He's the best player on the roster, and he's a great defensive, but he's not a great offensive player. It's not his fault. It's his fault that the Heat haven't got out and got somebody. If they got Giannis, that would be a great combination.
Boy,
right?
that is just. I don't know if Pat's got any at 80 years old, any big moves left, but that would be such an old school Pat Riley move to pull that off.
Then all of a sudden they're contending this year, right? If you're Milwaukee, though, let's be realistic. If you're
5 straight
Milwaukee,
losses.
You want him to go to the Western Conference. If you trade him, what Western Conference team wants him? Because you don't want to see him.
I think they want the best offer.
You want the best offer from the Western Conference.
I don't know I don't know how anybody looks at our players anymore. Tyler Hero gets thrown into every deal. He's averaging 23 points a game. He's got the bad toe now.
There
It's
couldn't
on
have been
and off.
a worse timed move for him to come back. He comes back, and all of a sudden, this great Heat start turns to mud.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's his fault.
Don't worry. There are people blaming him, though. There's
but-
people like, oh, Tyler doesn't fit in. He doesn't match up. And can't play with
It's just
other
not a
guys.
good look, though.
Yeah. Anyway, that NBA Cup championship do anything for you before I go to it's such a joke to me. They were celebrating. The Knicks were celebrating winning it, in case you didn't know who won it. And I'm like, I can hear Knicks fans going, great. And they're jumping up and down, and they got paid another, I think each player got $500,000.
Yeah, that to me, that's the interesting part of it.
But like, it has nothing to do. It's only about one thing.
What's it about?
It's
I
about
really
late
don't know
June.
what it's about.
About winning NBA championship.
Right,
It's not.
right.
This thing's
I know
never.
this NBA Cup. I don't care about. The only thing I'm
No.
interested in is like a team like the Heat. A lot of young players. $500,000 is a motivating factor, I think. On a lot of teams, it might not be. Like if the Big Three was here, they could care less about the 500.
Golden State had 2 guys on their bench when they were here, Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, that make more than that in a game. I know, and it sounds weird, like 500 is a lot of money, $500,000. I like to have that in my account right now.
This does not cover up the big problem in the NBA. They tried to do that, make the regular season relevant.
They didn't do it.
When Golden State came here and all their big stars,
that's their problem.
When they went to Boston, all their big stars. This is a problem in the NBA. Until they care about the regular season, I'm not going to care
that
about
bum
the regular
Jimmy
season.
Butler tried to stick it to us, not playing. Steph Curry, they said, had a little ankle. I noticed 2 nights later, though, Friday night, they're playing at home in San Francisco. Everybody's healthy and playing. So it was just it was basically a rest thing, or for Jimmy,
sure. It's
just to stick it to everybody. By the way, they're getting on him for not scoring more out there right now.
Well,
Beautiful.
It's bound to look.
That's not his deal, though.
It's bound to be a bad ending for Jimmy because it's been a bad ending for him everywhere.
Yeah.
So there will be, but the question will be what he does in the playoffs, not what he's doing in December.
They better start playing better. They might not even get there. That thing is bad. Hey, we've got more stuff to get to here this morning. Appreciate you being with us out there. As we continue on, I want to tell you about Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. You trying to decide who you're going to use to protect your home? You finally, hurricane season's over, but you know it's right around the corner, starts back up. They're getting bigger, these hurricanes, and we got lucky again this year. But you know it's just a matter of time. If you've lived down here a long time like we have, you know what's coming. And all you can do, as Chev always says, is protect the CEO of Loctite. Says, hey, all you can do is protect, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible. If you got an old leaky roof, replace your old roof now and pay later. Loctite Impact offers the highest quality roofing materials with lifetime warranty plus thousands of 5-star reviews. Say big on their legendary state-of-the-art Impact windows and doors. Impact windows as low as $6 per window per month installed. Don't wait for the next storm. We're trying to make it affordable for you to go out there and let their folks come out and take good care of you. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com or call 954-500-LOCK. They got a great staff. Answer all your questions you have, and let them come out and take a look. You might want to use them. They're all over South Florida for you. You don't have to worry about that. Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing, proud sponsors right now of the Miami Dolphins.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by
No, you have more time because at the end of the day, you can call it that. I mean, we're studying the game, so I guess that's our class. But we have a lot more time to go deep dive into the game plan, base game plan, red zone, and watching Tua, in game and in practice has helped a lot because he's been successful in this league. So he's definitely a good one to look up to and watch.
All right, that was Quinn Ewers, rookie, 7th-round pick out of Texas, getting ready to make his first start. And I would just say this. They should have a really good running game against Cincinnati. That will be the first important part of business for that game, 1 o'clock, Hard Rock Stadium. Second part is you're going to have to be patient. He is going to make some mistakes. He hasn't played. They're going to, when they do get him in second and third and long situations, they're going to try to confuse him and give him a lot of different looks and try some different things. But he's got himself a good situation, man. This is, what he's been through. I was just telling Dave and I were talking. Carson Beck makes a hell of a lot more money than Quinn Ewers does. How about that? And he made a decision. I don't know who gave him the advice to come out. He was a 7th-round pick. I'm guessing if he's to tell us all the truth, that he thought he was going to go higher in the draft, or he probably would have gone to another school. He had to leave Texas. But Manning was going to start. Everybody knew Manning was not going to sit a third year. And but Quinn had a lot of great offers, including one down here at the University of Miami. So probably going to be a $5 or $6 million quarterback. Probably $5 or $6 million he was going to get in the open market to come quarterback for somebody. And he said, no, I want to turn pro. But listen, he's getting a start. He's over it. Whatever you get.
He talked about it yesterday. Look, there are two stories playing out. One is Quinn Ewers on a personal level, dream come true. He talked about, wanting to play in the NFL, wanting to start, and here's his opportunity. So that's playing out. The other, from the franchise standpoint, what do you expect from Quinn Ewers? Why are we doing this? To see if there's something there, to give him a little experience heading into year 2. I'm not really sure, other than if you're blown away by and surprised, which I really don't expect that to happen, but just a little seasoning for him.
I have some people in my life that think playing Quinn is, first of all, see how good he is, because he did have some really good practices if you were out there and you saw it. Second part is to lose games and get a better draft pick from where you are right now, if you can. So play hard, play with no experience, and see, he's going to have some growing pains if he stays the starting quarterback. Mike's talking about wanting to win these games. But I tell you, Dave, in the bigger picture of things, we got to reevaluate from the top down. I talked to Champ Kelly about this a little bit. Look, at the old way just hasn't worked. I mean, we haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. Not to throw it in anybody's face here on a Thursday, but we got everything else figured out at Hard Rock Stadium. Everything else except that little facility right across the street that's part of the Hard Rock properties, better known as training camp. And that thing has just, I don't know. I don't know how to fix it, but it's got to get fixed at the very top before we come down. Or like, who are we going to keep? Are we going to do this again, where we get rid of this guy, but we keep this guy? No, we get rid of that guy, but we keep this guy. Let's just get them all out. I know Chris Perkins from the Sun Sentinel's on. If Chris is gone and Tua's out, Mike's got to go too. It's a clean start for everybody.
I think that's a valid argument. I'm not ready to go there. Let's let the season play out as a whole and put the periscope up and see what's going. But I always thought Chris and Mike were married at the hip, the past 4 years, and so that's a fair and valid point to take. If you're going to talk about keeping Mike, the idea would be he's spent 3 or 4 years learning, and now he's finally up to speed of what a head coach needs to do, because he's made mistakes. but he's up to speed what a head coach should do. And you're going
I
to throw
think
all
he's
that
had-
out. And
I think he's had great growing pains, man. Even his whole demeanor.
Yes, he's changed from what he was.
A lot. This is, I don't want to say hardened him a little bit. The Ramsey stuff, getting walked off. He's got to understand guys have walked all over him. If he doesn't, somebody close to him that he respects needs to tell him. But the other thing,
and look, he started 1-6 this year.
he did.
And
they had a chance to get back to 500 before getting embarrassed on Monday Night Football. We by the way, Thursday night, Monday Night Football has just not been not been good for
Prime time.
getting embarrassed. But Dave, you wrote about something before I wanted to bring up. We got rid of Chris. We got rid of two guys that have been here way too long, 20, 25 years. Nothing against them. Maybe they were good. But whatever it is, they've been here since this disaster. They've been part or around or seen it. Dysfunction from background checks. We got to do a better job with background checks. The Cam Smith thing can never happen again. The Cam Smith thing.
Well, you go back to the Deion Jordan thing, the Jonathan Martin thing. That's
They're
all tied together
yes,
with
it
the
is.
Cam Smith
Yes,
thing.
it is. And so we got to do a better job with that. I'm not so sure, and I don't like to see guys get fired. I really don't. I don't want everybody screaming for me to get fired. I wouldn't like that either. But, age is going to win here pretty soon. But I just hope we're evaluating all of our scouts that are here. And if they've been here too long and they've been through the Jeff Ireland and Chris Greer way, then they need to go. We need a fresh start. We need that thing's got to get fixed and structured properly. So we don't have guys pushing for this openly. That stuff's not going on a lot of other places. Can't have coaches trying to be GMs and stay in their lane. We need people stay in their lane. If you do contracts, do contracts. Don't try to dab into trying to help the GM make decisions. And we need everybody to stay and the backstabbing and all that stuff, that third grade stuff I talked about yesterday. None of that. And
there's the fundamental flaw with Steve Ross is he handed the franchise keys to Chris Greer, who had shown nothing of the ability to look. It was a massive job that when you tank, when you build through the draft, that's a massive job. He had shown none of the ability to do that, much less.
Well, Perks on this thing yesterday, in the 1 year after we made all those trades to get all those big name guys that have been the best at their jobs, pass rusher, cover corner, and a wide receiver. That thing with the big class and the draft classes that they had previous within the last few years before that looked pretty good on paper. It did look like, and it lost the first round to the Kansas City Chiefs, got beat up pretty good in cold weather. But we got to get something structured. First of all, we got this thing that hit me right in the face again in that cold weather in Pittsburgh. If we don't learn how to win games late in the year in cold weather against good teams, it's just one problem. We got a lot of other problems. But you're never going to win your division as long as this happens. You're going to continue to get your ass kicked by Baltimore, butt kicked by Tennessee. I'm just thinking of some of the big games. Green Bay on Thursday Night Football up there.
Well, just look at the AFC East. You just
We're clearly the third best team right now.
But you have to expect, if you're going to win the division, you're going to have to go win in cold in Buffalo, New England, or New York. One of those every year. Every year. And
we got the Jets, and they're real bad, and we beat them up like we were supposed to. But they're not a very good team. They might be the worst team in football.
They look at the Dolphins and the Jets as the same bottom feeders. Same idea.
Well, right now, the Miami Dolphins, when this season is over, we are clearly, because that was a conversation, hey, where do we rank in the AFC East? We are clearly the worst team, the third best team in the AFC East, not the worst team. The Jets own that by a long shot. Hey, 8 o'clock hour's coming up. We got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning, and Big Bo will join us a little bit later on his way in, and Brian Baldinger will join us. It is time to tell you about the holiday season and your South Florida Chevy dealers. Understand a lot of people are going to be looking for new SUVs and trucks. And if you are, and you haven't been to your South Florida Chevy dealers, we got some great deals and even better products to tell you about. Yeah, the SUVs. So South Florida Chevy dealers sent me a note. It said, please stop talking about owning a Chevy for the last 20 years of your life and how much you like them. We appreciate it, but talk about other products. Listen, man, for me, you're going to talk about SUVs. You got to start with a Tahoe and a Suburban, and then you work your way down to the Traverse, and then even down to an Equinox, man. I'm telling you, they're great. Just got Omar Kelly in an Equinox as well. They're fantastic. You're going to love them. Then on top of all that stuff, I just want to let you know right over to the trucks, whether it's a durable Colorado, whether it's a Silverado 1500 with all the technology needed for workday workhorse and a weekend warrior. Maybe it's a Silverado HD, legendary horsepower, and one of the hardest working beds in the business. Hey, when it comes to getting exactly what you need for your family and for your work and to get around, whether it's midsize, full-size, or heavy-duty truck, Chevy pickups and SUVs will never let you down here in South Florida. Got some great deals going on. Hopefully you have some time to stop by one of those 14 dealerships, take a test drive, sit down, and get the best deal at your South Florida Chevy dealers.
Legendary doesn't
to our lowest price, visit us at Doral Volkswagen or DoralVolkswagen.com. Canes basketball team, they're going to face North Florida. That's going to be Sunday at 1. Dolphins, they face the Cincinnati Bengals Sunday at 1. And tonight at 9, Arkansas State and Missouri State in the Xbox Bowl. I am Dan Day. Time now for the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
I'm not too sure. I can't predict the future. I can't, predict any of that. So it is what it is. And as I said, you got to help out Q, got to help out Zach, whoever the starter is or is going to be. Do what I can to help them in that role and helping the team win games.
All right, that was Tua Tagovailoa, as yesterday was a writers for all the writers. Dave Hyde was one of them.
That was my question. That was the answer to my question. But I asked him, do you think you played your last game as a Dolphin?
Very, very fair.
And he said that. I don't know. It's beyond my control. But I think
he answered everything.
Yeah,
the right way
he was a pro yesterday, and he sounded like a pro in ways he hasn't a lot of times this year. And
I'm guessing this is a humbling experience.
Has to be. You have to feel for him on a personal level. I mean, he got the rug yanked out from under him. On a professional level, it was time. It was time for the Dolphins.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to be nice about this too, but this isn't just like a personality thing. This is just strictly performance. And he's been the weakness of this team for a while now. I was going to say last month. Clearly the last month in 5 games now because of but this was Mike going to Smith and Bevel and Slowick, all the coordinators. We got lots of coordinators on our offensive staff and going, guys, and everybody looking around the room and like we're working with them on feet and eyes, we're working with them on this and first read and trying to find this. And I just think, everything, decision making, accurate throws, what he's reading, doesn't look comfortable in the pocket, apparently huddle, lack of awareness, his physical limitations. All of a sudden, his arm doesn't even look the same when he does throw it 20, 25 yards down the field. I don't know if he's cautious because of concussions. I don't know if his body's beaten up. But when all this stuff, you put it together, to me, it'd be very understanding if he lost confidence. And by the way, you can never come out as a quarterback and say, I've lost some confidence, that I used to be able to do things and I can't do them. Or I don't know if he feels comfortable with everybody he's playing with. But all the things we've been hearing every time he plays poorly is just weak. I can't see and guys in front of him. I mean, it's just stuff you don't say when you're a top-notch quarterback. Don't go around talking.
I don't think it was weak. I think it was shocking, though. To you say you don't hear a quarterback talk about talk about his weaknesses. I can't see over the line. I can't run.
And by the way, if I got a problem with somebody that something's not going the right way, I talk to him not at a press conference after a game. I go talk to him one-on-one. I go talk to him as a group. Hey, guys, he's got good people skills with the guys on the team. Hey, guys, listen, man. This is not acceptable. I need more out of you, man.
Whether he's lost confidence or not, Mike lost confidence in him.
Yes.
That the game plan tells you that. And
the game plan has told us that.
Yeah.
Every game, I started saying it. Even in the Jets game, they tried to open it up there for about 3 series, and it was 3 and out or almost 3 and out. And they're punting, and Mike just went in the fourth quarter, get our running backs the ball. We're going to run it. Wright started running the ball. Hell, Achane wasn't even playing. Wright ran for 100 yards.
But even at the top of his game, I never thought that's good enough. I always thought that this is a offense. It's almost a gimmick offense, of speed and it was great for a while, but
that's not what it is now.
That's not what it is at all now.
Achane's still going to break some long runs because he's still
ball control.
Fast.
Ball control. It's not quite smash. I used the phrase smash mouth in a column a couple weeks ago, and a lot of readers, it's not smash mouth.
No,
and they're right. It's not smash mouth.
Come off the ball.
But it's the idea of ball control. Ball control by running the ball and playing defense, keeping the defense off the field because you're running the ball but relying on them to much more than you are Tua.
I'm going to give you another one, too. Just this is a time where, to me, it looks like we got a wide receiver that's not very happy. Just my read. Let's watch him on the sideline, takes himself out of the game. Jalen Waddle does not look like a happy wide receiver. And I get it. He's watching everybody else that's the number one receiver on their football team, whether you think he's a number one overall or not. By the way, that could be up for debate, the way you got 2 catches for 30 yards every game, like he's had in recent weeks. We pay a lot of money. We don't get him the ball.
Well, you got to get him the ball. But the problem is the quarterback can't get him the ball. You saw him try to throw that pass in Pittsburgh that was intercepted.
Same throw.
20, 25 yards.
Same throw to the Saints. Tried to throw it, and it fluffed up there, and the safety came over and picked it off at Hard Rock Stadium.
It's like an ephus pitch in baseball, the blooper.
Yeah.
So, and
I think he's frustrated. I know they're Alabama guys together. They've been together. I see them. They yuck it up and have a little fun. There's got to be some frustration, though.
Have you ever met a receiver who isn't frustrated when he's not getting the ball? Any good receiver? You played with a couple of them who were very loud when they didn't get the ball. Look what's going on in Philadelphia.
They didn't even wait to get out of the huddle. My guys, it was a show in the huddle. You've heard me say this and love telling them when we go out, because I just thought it was the most entertaining thing to think that I was part of that huddle and could hear those guys going at it about who's had more targets. Look who's playing against me. You've thrown him the last 3. I'm pretty good too on the other side. And they never took shots. It was funny. Mark and Mark never took shots at each other. It was always to Danny. They were taking shots. Now, this in this little huddle with the clock running, waiting for the play to come in, and those guys pointing at the guys they're playing with. And then Duke would point at the guy he was with that was covering him. And it was just very entertaining to see.
That's the best passing offense to that point in history in the NFL.
That's a different level.
Yeah. So
all the pieces were good. Tony Nathan coming out of the backfield. Nat Moore, tough as mofo we've ever played with.
So you'd expect Jalen Waddle to be frustrated. I mean, I'd hope he'd be frustrated at 2 catches, 10 yards, right? I mean, saying, hey, I'm better than this. Now, is he how many number one receivers? Everybody's like dismissive. He's not a number one receiver. There's like 10 number one receivers in the league. It's not like there's 25 number one receivers, but he's a good receiver.
Some people think there's some teams that have 2 number ones. Do you think T. Higgins is a number one?
Very well
with
could
Jamar?
be. Yeah, very well could be.
How about 2 guys playing for the Rams? Devontae Adams is the second guy.
I don't think Devontae Adams anymore he's good, but he's getting old. He's very good in that offense when he's got that quarterback throwing to him. But
he went from a bad situation to a good
talk
situation.
Talk about a guy who picked the right team and the right quarterback. And okay, we're talking Dolphins situation. Look at this matchup tonight. Look at the guys no one will talk about because it's a game going on. GM at Seattle, John Schneider, as good as anybody in the league. The GM of the Rams, Les Snead, as good as anybody in the league at building rosters, drafting
quickly.
And that's the guy the Dolphins need. And maybe it's Champ Kelly. I have no idea about Champ Kelly. Maybe it is him. But whoever it is, that's who Steve Ross has to hire.
But we have to get whatever taste or look we've had in the past in the front office. We got to make drastic changes. So let me ask you this one. The guys that have been with Chris for a long time, I was just thinking about this common sense. This guy's been with him for a while. You wrote about this.
Yeah, I did.
So now you're going to tell him, hey, we're doing a lot of different things. At some point, don't you just go, we got a clean house? And I understand they've got all this information. We're in the middle of now is an important time, and you can't just overhaul everything.
I wrote a couple years ago about that, just the stagflation in the organization, same guys, and named a few of them. Chris, one of the few times he called me over, he called me out to, can I talk to you? And he said, name me, but you don't have to name people in the organization, the scouts and all that. And I said, hey, I was making a point.
Man, it's a cold-ass business. Everything is fair game.
I was making a point, just what you said.
It's cold business for everybody that's ever been part of it. It's cold. It's one thing. Are you winning or you're not? And right now, we got a bad number. 25 years without winning a friggin' playoff game. Hell, right now, we can't. We're third best team in our own division. So these things are going to pop up. And before we look at the players and upgrading this thing, let's get to before that stage. And that is, are we have the right people going out and looking at players? Are we doing background checks? No, we're not. We're not doing good enough background checks on guys. Guys that have issues. Guys that this Cam Smith's a great example. That thing just kind of, he was going to make the team and he went AWOL without getting into everything, which I happen to know. This thing's can't, I get it. I saw the way he ran and the way he turned, like Igbenogany. I saw the way he ran, the way he turned. They couldn't play. Those should have been, in a perfect world, we shouldn't be playing with Jack Jones and Rasul Douglas. We should have Cam Smith on one side in a perfect world of we got this draft thing figured out with our top pick, and the other side should have been Noah Igbenogany.
You know, I don't even look at who they missed on, who they hit on, who they hit on that you can look at and say, okay, here's a guy who's going to be a Pro Bowl player for much of his career, and they don't have enough of them.
So,
that's the problem.
So we're not to go back, and that's a great example. How many guys have we drafted during that run with all those first and second round picks? Was that 6 years ago now? 5 years ago? When we win all those picks.
They should be in their prime.
How many of those guys? Now we just benched the 5th overall pick in the draft.
Look at that draft. This was the tanking year.
Look no more than the guy drafted after him.
Tua,
you can
Austin
stop right
Jackson,
there.
Noah
Came down here.
Igbenogany.
The Herbert thing, I mean, it's an old conversation. He's not coming back. Look what he just did to us. He's got all his offensive linemen out. Phillips has got him for a sack, bounces off him, makes a crossing throw. That's a franchise quarterback play, man.
That's why you draft the big guy, the big, strong guy.
6'6" with big old arm. Whew, I got nothing accomplished by saying all that. It did make me feel a little better.
But it makes you going forward. The first thing they got to do is get their structure in place. We look at the players. Why'd they do this? Why'd they do that? The structure is all wrong for the
By the way,
Dolphins.
you want to hear the crazy part? I think we got a really good coaching staff. This is one of the best coaching staffs we've ever had. I mean it. I mean, I watch everything. We got a lot of guys playing really well. We got a lot of guys we didn't think much of they're having good seasons. We are.
They developed, look at the offensive line developed, the young players on the defensive
Starting on the line of
developed.
scrimmage on both sides, those guys can coach. Those guys, Austin and Butch, done a good job. But it's not just them. We got a lot of guys. We got to get them better talent. We got to upgrade it. And I know, and I'm not beating on the guy that's out the door. That's done. He's a good guy. He's always going to be a good guy. Got 25 years of money from this organization. He's fine. Anyway, hey, we got to go to break here. We got a lot more. That sound like a shot, David?
No.
Why are you laughing?
Well, that was a small
not funny.
show.
Hey, I want to tell you about Chapman Partnership, man. It's a holiday season. I got to donate some money to Chapman Partnership. Bam Adebayo. Man, thank you so much, brother. I know you guys got a few days off. Don't think people don't notice what you do for Chapman Partnership, you and the Miami Heat. I mean it, man. I've been a big part of it. Chapman Partnership helping the homeless with 2 great facilities. And by the way, when I say helping the homeless, I'm not talking about giving them a bite to eat and telling them to go hang out in the street. No, I'm talking about rehabilitation. They are changing lives daily in our community. So much more than just a shelter and providing and caring support and wraparound services, mental health doctors. We got a lot of great doctors donate their time. And to those people that donate their time, could be doing other things, thank you so much. And we are celebrating our 30th anniversary and the holiday season together. 30 years, Chapman Partnership's got so many great success stories within 3 to 4 months, rehabilitating, helping families and individuals find an apartment, get jobs, and get back out on the feet. They're getting a second chance, and that's what Chapman Partnership's all about. Chapman has assisted in over 145,000 individuals and families to overcome their problems and get back out on their feet again. And to celebrate and support the mission, we hope you'll join us here to make a difference and help the homeless get back out, families getting back together, getting jobs, or kids, everything's getting back to normal. So many great stories. Join me here at WQAM to show support to one of my favorite charities that's really making a difference in our community, and you can help us. We can use any amount of money. The problem's not going away. We're helping many people to become productive again in our communities. Let's help support families and individuals to overcome this homeless problem we have at Chapman in 2025. Go online to chapmanpartnership.org. Anything you can give. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Hey, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. As Bo's expected to join us here, I guess around 9 o'clock hour, maybe a little bit before. And Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel's in here as well. Always great to be in here with my buddies and guys that I've been with for a long time and talking and trying to figure things out. And you know what I figured out? The more I talk about it, the more frustrating it gets. And I don't know if we'll ever get this thing figured out, because I always hear it's been a great line around with the Dolphins, like, we're going to get this thing figured out, I promise you. And I'm like, man, yummy people have been saying that. It's been a long time in different combinations.
I remember when Chris took over his opening press conference, his line was, the dysfunction stops now. I'll never forget that. He
did?
Yes, absolutely. Because remember, at that time,
he must feel like
he
must feel like an ass clown after saying that, because it's continued.
It's continued.
Nice guy. Very nice guy. But
Super nice guy. How many times do we have to hear that?
I
don't want to hear that from the organization anymore.
If I have to, I'll go look at our GM's
like
a
him.
jerk, but he sure is good at what he does.
You know, the guy who wrung the most out of this roster was not a nice guy. Brian Flores was not a nice guy. But there was an old line.
And the weirdest thing, usually if somebody's not in that, I usually the one that has issues. People have issues with me, and I understand why, but Brian Flores was great.
I think football coaching has changed in that it used to be the line was, the better human being he is, the worse football coach he'll be. That was when I stepped into the league. Now, there aren't a lot of mean coaches, a lot of the guys that you look around the league and say, no, that guy's really tough.
We have an interesting one. I mean, you can figure this out. The GM's gone. Tua's whatever. He's third string quarterback with 3 games left. I don't know what's going to happen next year. Doesn't look good though going forward.
You know he's not going to be back.
But let me ask you now there's the one position sitting in the middle, the head coach. Some people like him. I hear people go, look at other teams. Somebody just wrote an article. If you let him go as a head coach, going to be other teams who want him.
Really? I'm not sure about that.
And he's definitely he is going to have offensive coordinator.
Oh, absolutely. That's a whole different thing.
That way he can be one of the guys. He can get the most out of him. I think he was fantastic in his role with the 49ers and what he did there. They had some great offenses.
But it was Kyle Shanahan's office in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I mean, he helped, no question. And he would absolutely, his offense as a coordinator, is a head coach. That's the question. Has he grown enough into the role as a head coach?
Right.
You know, because he's not buddy with the guys anymore. He's not saying, let's give all the money to the big names to keep them happy.
Those days, Mike, I think
he's learned.
I hope would admit, I mean, he can't come out and say, I shouldn't have got so involved and Tua thanking him and all that stuff. And now this is what you get because we don't let things go. But Mike's in it. I saw it the other day before the game with all this stuff, but and his confidence and what he can do. The question is, and I get the way he dresses for games, drives people nuts. Want people to look more, and I'm not.
It looks better when they win.
Well, everything looks better. The food's better. You know how this works. Yes, as long as you're winning and drawing up creative things and you're getting the most out of your team.
Here's the question: can he lead a room? Can he be, through his force of personality, lead a? And I don't want to hear, well, they were 1-6 and they didn't quit. Okay, big deal. Can he lead a team into contention? Because that's a whole different animal than.
He's got to have more talent.
Yeah, absolutely. The roster isn't good enough, and
quarterback's not good enough.
But the quarterback's part of him. Mike bought into it.
Yes, he did. And he didn't get a hall pass on it. I'm not.
But somebody should have stood up in that franchise and said, "We're not giving Tua $50 million until we see it."
So the other thing I get a lot with the Tua thing, well, it's great. I get that Tua's not Josh and not Patrick and not Lamar and all the top guys. But what else do you have? I mean, there's a shortage of quarterbacks in this league, and I used to Used to hear that, like, hey, you guys somebody's got to play quarterback, give you a chance to win. And I start for the first time, besides his injuries, I just didn't think you could trust him with the concussions, no matter what information's out there, that they go away or they're not as bad if you don't have them, and they're spread out and all that stuff. I don't know enough about it. But he's just not good enough right now.
Right.
Clearly now. You can be his biggest fan and bought 20 of his jerseys. That's why the team made this change. They know he's not good enough right now. They've waited and they've tried different things. They've shortened the playbook.
They wanted him to be good enough to carry into next year because they owe him $99 million, because he's $99 million on the books, and they couldn't even fake that anymore. That we got to move on. So
it's
So what do you do? That's the question. Ultimately,
Mike McDaniel now is the topic. He's the topic. And then you go back. I mean, I don't know. You asked me, and it's a great question. And I like Champ Kelly a lot. I do. I like Champ Kelly a lot, and he's gone out of his way to talk to me and tell me stuff, which I appreciate. I do. And he's coming in with fresh ideas and not the way we've been doing it. So that's all good. I know some of the things he's doing and makes sense. But they got to make a decision. You asked me, is he going to be the guy through the draft? And I go, that I don't know.
If you're hiring today, and they are, I mean, basically they are, is he the number one candidate you would want to run the franchise? That's ultimately what Steve Ross has to decide.
Well,
right?
if you don't, then you're taking somebody's assistant GM in a really good program that's got one of these top guys.
Yes.
And I don't know who that is. You would know more about it.
No, these guys are hidden from view. And even if they're in view, look at Howie Roseman's, a couple people have mentioned Howie Roseman's top assistant in Philadelphia. But we don't, you would have to be on the inside and know how decisions are made in Philadelphia. What has this guy done? We have no idea. But I would hope, look, I remember in the old days at University of Miami, Sam Jankovic would open his desk drawer and he goes, here's 5 top names of coaches I'm looking at if our coach leaves. I would hope Steve Ross or Garfinkel or whoever has been doing homework on top guys. Maybe Champ Kelly was the top guy, and in which case they're ready to roll.
Yeah.
But even before you get to Mike, you have to decide how you're going to structure the organization, GM, coach, and who the GM is.
I don't know, but and Bo's going to join
here,
us.
Bo's, he's like chomping at the bit. I can see it.
Bo's going to join us here
what
right now.
What are we talking about? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's going on today, Bo? Man.
We're talking about Christmas presents and stuff. Hey, stocking stuffers.
I still haven't decided what to get her. Damn it! You got any ideas, Bo? Man, it's exactly. I can't think of me. Oh yeah, the Canes are playing Saturday against Texas A&M.
There we go.
Oh, Panthers won again last night.
They're running now. They're back. They're heading back to the finish line.
Hey, we've had some good.
Oh my God,
we've had some good laughs on your behalf with some of your press conferences after the game when you're pissed off, Bo. It is classic.
I was just talking during the break that in Cleveland, I walk in and you're doing a live shot on TV, and I sit down and your line is, I just witnessed the worst offensive performance in the history of football.
No, worst quarterback performance.
Oh, quarterback. Okay, quarterback.
So you guys are talking about, geez, so you guys talking, well, over the last month. This wasn't the last month. He was bad in Indianapolis. He was bad in Cleveland.
Yes.
So this is not a
it wasn't just 6 games.
It's not a Johnny come lately.
And I would even say, look, he wasn't good enough even when he was good.
No, he wasn't.
At the top, he had to get to another level.
If he was good enough, we would have won a playoff game at some point.
Just to throw this out though, and why I think he's taking it. Maybe God, people are going, he's not taking it that badly. I go, he's got $200 million guaranteed by the time he leaves this organization at 27 years old or 28.
So I don't want to throw my opinion around, but I'm going to do it right now. I think this thing, I don't know if it's just he's kind of, if you look at his body physically, his body in the last 2 years, and I saw a picture when Dave and I think I was sitting right next to you when he came out with the show me the money thing, which I thought that was check one number one.
Oh yeah,
for
go
me
ahead and let that one. That was first
on that show me the money. He was sleek. He was in shape. You look at it, and I'm watching him at the podium, and and he's just wearing and I'm going, this guy don't look physically, and he's a little bit.
He needs to get better. He needs to get back to performance.
A little bit thicker. Yeah, I think he needs it. But and so, Joe, remember I told you this when we were in New York. I watch, I sit down there every week. I sit in the sideline and I just watch what's going on in the field. And so Tua, ever since he's been here, he goes with Bevel, and they go out and all they do is like this. They don't use a ball. They don't have a ball in their hand, and they just walk through the ball handling stuff, without a ball. And so, okay, so they're doing it, and usually they're kind of, you can see a little passionate. So I said, Joe, they came out. So they in New York, I'm watching Tua, and he's going through with a cup of coffee in his hand. I go, what? You don't have a ball in your hand.
I got a pet peeve.
You have a cup of coffee in your hand.
It's cold.
I mean, come on.
Hey, Bo,
man.
I got a pet peeve worse than that because you got me started on the field stuff before. And might as well just throw it. If we're doing the dogpiling today, I watch the other two quarterbacks get out there running, got their guys running full speed routes and stuff down the field, throwing takeoffs, throwing both of them. The other guy never comes out. Never comes out and never. Like, hey man, you're the one that should be out here throwing in this.
I've
stuff.
never seen
Tua
him.
didn't do warm-ups?
He doesn't come out and throw early with the guy.
I never see him throw routes to receivers.
Never throws hard during warm-ups. Period. He just lofts it.
And so here's if there's one place. I'm going to say this: if there's one place that your quarterback where you should go out and throw to your receivers before the game, it's Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Buffalo's got this crowned field, right? Very few crowned fields in the league now.
Yeah.
And Buffalo has one. So if you're not throwing the ball before, you're throwing it out to receiver. That you got to throw about a yard down to get that throw. And they don't come out. He doesn't come out and throw the ball. I'm like, well, yeah.
Oh, he's got a routine he's stuck with and whatever else. But hey, we got to go to break here. Kimbo Camper with us. That was who you just heard. Can't wait to hear about.
I was screaming in the radio. I'm like, God damn it. I need to get in there.
Don't worry. Seth Levitt's blowing my phone up too. Oh my God, Seth's all fired up here today. Everybody's fired up, man. My phone was blowing up yesterday. Anyway, hey, I want to tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic. I want to talk to you about ED and low T, and I want to give you a holiday gift idea. I'm thinking all those gifts you don't want that you're about ready to get, just tell the wife, hey, can you do me a favor? Give me Atlantic Men's Clinic. ED and low T, man, your energy level shot. ED, I had them both. It was bad. I told Bo one day, I go, Bo, it's one thing to be tired all the time. It's really bad on Friday and Saturday night. No sex drive, nothing there, man. It was brutal. And, man, it messed with me for a while. So I went to Atlantic Men's Clinic. I went and met with a bunch of people I didn't know. Got the PSA test, met with that professional staff. That was the best day I've ever had. Seriously, one of the best ideas ever to go there and meet with them and get the great results. And I'm talking about knocking out ED and low T completely. Feeling good again, walking again, playing tennis again, chasing that wife of mine around again in the bedroom and other places. She's never safe now. And I got to tell you, man, it's fantastic. It's great. And if you want that stuff back and you've lost it, Atlantic Men's Clinic is great results. Get the PSA test, set up that first appointment, meet with their professional staff, and they'll put you on a plan that is going to give you great results quickly. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. A brand new one in Hollywood. I go to Plantation. Going to stop by there today. Call them 877-455-7300 or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. I can't think of a better holiday gift than Atlantic Men's Clinic.
WQAM
All right, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. I just want everybody to know why we were on break that Bo and Dave and I were letting it rip on Tua. I just want to let you know.
Well,
because I got to tell you, I have no sympathy for the guy at all. The laughing stuff, it's funny. I haven't talked to you this week, but that really bothered me. People are sending me video of like, hey, Tua, what was so funny before or after the game or during that you'd be laughing after the way you played?
I was in the when he was doing media, and they asked him. They said, "Oh, what about Jalen Ramsey? And whatever, and had played. Did you go talking?" He goes, "Well, I didn't talk about playing, but Jay, he was, and he's like it's J Ram, whatever his nicknames he called you. Oh, me and J Ram are tight." I talked to him a little bit afterwards, and I'm going, "Really? You mean you just lost the game, and you're oh, we were just talking, telling stories." And I'm thinking in my mind, going, "Jesus!" And then I see the video.
Yeah,
that was a guy that didn't give a damn what happened 20 minutes before, right? Yeah. Just it's okay. No, it's like no big deal.
He was.
I would never. I don't think it. I would. First of all, I wouldn't want. I don't even want to talk after we lose a game, much less go over to somebody, and that maybe you played college football with. Would never do that.
But beyond that, the guy he went over to was the guy who
the guy that destroyed
ruined the locker room.
He began the ruination of the team.
But you talk about embarrassing Mike by showing him and Tyreek last year constantly showed up late to practice.
Yeah,
I mean,
by the way, he's gone too.
Yeah,
for this thing, I don't know, and he can send out his videos and everything else, and whatever message it's supposed to be.
Add up the money, the dead money between
those two,
Tyreek and Tua.
We made them both very wealthy men.
So
not a pretty picture.
So therein lies the team itself and what it means to them to try to be winners and try to be champions and try to get the playoffs. If your leaders, who I guess they've got a leadership council, are late to meetings, or not doing the work, or not doing this or that. What does that say to everybody else? And look, to me, that climbs the ladder right up to the head coach. If your head coach is going to be fine, and look, and he goes, "Well, I find in the league meetings this year, or whatever, one of those where he said, well, I find these guys, but the money doesn't matter, so I don't know what to do."
That's not a good answer.
Well, I know what to do. You grab one of them and you in the middle of the meeting room and say, "You know what? You were late. Get the hell out of here. We'll figure out the contract situation. You're done."
I don't think that was a problem this year, though. I think they cleaned up that. And you talk to people inside the team. The reason.
So let me ask you this: if it was fine, how come they can't get 11 guys on the field 2 or 3 times a game, and you got to take timeouts?
Well, that's a whole different. It's
not. It's all part of the whole package.
Of the coaching package.
The whole package, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We do have an early timeout we use every game.
Every game.
It's a mandatory.
They used one before even a play was run once this year.
So how about this? Have you ever seen a football game? Have you ever seen a football game where the first play you got it's 1st and 15.
Yeah.
You've lost a timeout.
Yeah, never.
And it's still 15 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. No.
Right?
Jimmy Cephalo makes it very clear. He goes, "I've seen everything. That's new."
I'm sorry. There's a lot of things I saw this year that I thought I've seen everything.
We have seen it all. And by the way, 12 guys on the field and 1 guy running out, and Aaron Rodgers, who just said the big fella ain't getting off on time, snapped the ball, and 1 guy didn't make it. No, it's all a bad.
So what do you do, Bo? We've had our cracks at it here in front of the microphone.
Where do you want to start?
Well, you've already started with the general manager situation. I think that was that needed to be done.
Well, you got rid of now, but you have an interim general manager.
Well, yes. Therein lies another situation. Look, I mean, I know for Joe and I, we've spoken to him. I like him, and he talks to us a little bit about
what do you think? Game.
What do you think? What do you and which is pleasant. But is he going to be just the interim guy now for another 3 games, and then
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's an interesting
and then
one.
you got the coach situation. Look,
That's one guy makes that decision.
1 week ago today, he was coming back, right? Now
Is that when you showed me that on the plane? You said, "Have you seen this?"
Now you've got all of a sudden, man, not so much, right? After this debacle that we saw, up there. So, and look, and I agree with Joe that there are a lot of really good coaches on this football team. There are too damn many coaches on the sideline, man.
That drives you nuts.
I mean,
they're not getting rid of them. There's 26 guys who are going to be 26.
Yeah, because if they want the payroll, it's.
By the way, why do we need 3 offensive coordinators of some kind?
There you go. What was it? What is it? A couple years ago we had like 3 assistant head coaches. It was the running back coach,
Studesville,
Eric Studesville, who I think does a good job.
He's a good coach.
With those guys. But
he's got a little old school. I love him.
Try to do that 3-man. I don't know what the hell it was, but it's just the bizarre stuff they've done.
He came out and gave Smith, Bevel, and Slowick all have coordinator titles. Slowick was an offense coordinator for the Houston Texans last year, and I'm like, that's a lot of coordinators.
I came early in the season. My question was, okay, you got Mike, who's the play caller, right?
Right.
You got Bobby. Is it Bobby Slowick? Is the
Bobby Slowick?
Yes, running game coordinator.
Yeah. Bevel, passing coordinator,
and then Bevel. It works with the quarterback solely with the quarterbacks. What does Frank Smith do?
I don't know. We were
I see him at practice talking to players.
He's not calling plays.
What? By the way,
and I tell you what, when he did come down to the sideline,
that was
he was the get on the guy.
Yeah,
he was the guy. I mean, I would see him every game when he was down there. He's like pumping the guys up. He's jacking them up a little bit, getting them going, which was nice. But what else does he do when you've got so you're going to contribute that many guys to get a quarterback, and they still can't get in the huddle, and they still can't know where to line up, and they still can't
Well, listen, let's come back. Let's talk a little bit about Quinn Ewers when we come back here, and getting his first start and what to expect against this really bad Cincinnati defense. We're going to have more of that. 9 o'clock hours coming up next.
Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or at DoralVolkswagen.com. Got a Heat game tonight. Look to end a 5-game losing streak at 7:30 in Brooklyn as they take on the Nets. Also, Luis Suarez has re-signed with the Miami Heat. He will be returning for his final season. I am Dan Day. It's time to go back to the Joe Rose Show, and we'll be talking with Brian Baldinger. We're joined by him. He is an Odyssey NFL insider, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider calls are brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Joe Rose, here you go.
Well, fishing different.
Well, yeah.
All right, and welcome back here as we bring in Brian Baldinger. Hey, Baldy, anything going on here in South Florida the last couple?
Well, why didn't they just have a funeral after that game on Monday?
I don't think.
Why even come back?
I don't think Baldy's got an opinion on.
No,
anything like that, right?
Hey, Baldy's down here a lot, and he's aware of it. Dave Hyde, Kim Camper, and with me this morning talking a little bit about it. Yesterday was a wild one. The head coach spoke, and then all three quarterbacks spoke. Your take on Tua getting benched and third-string quarterback the rest of the season?
Well, I saw Quinn Ewers play this summer, Joe. I mean, I don't know if he completed a pass in the practice I watched. Maybe he's gotten a lot better. For him to, I don't know, what was Zach Wilson doing as a backup all year long? Like, they just skipped him. They just want to see what the rookie could do. Like, if I was a teammate right now, I know it was a horrible loss. But if I was, I don't know, a guy that's having a great season, say Jordan Brooks, and you're just going to throw this guy out there to see what he can do, I'd be pissed off, Joe. You know, like, are we still going to try and win these games, or we just want to see what this guy can do? Like, that's not really fair to guys that have balled out all year, I don't think. But I guess that's where they're at with this thing. I was a little surprised, but I didn't understand what they were doing, Joe. Like, I didn't understand the no 2-minute drill, the no hurry up, anything. Just the way Troy Aikman was, he's kind of commenting. I was yelling at the screen going, why are they huddling up and taking 40 seconds?
I did too.
Run a play. I didn't get it, Joe.
Yeah, it was it was a hard one to figure out. But I got to tell you, Tua's been. I'm trying to be nice. He's been way below average. To be real nice about it, he's been awful for a franchise quarterback.
Well, Joe, like, there's a play. Okay, so he threw a touchdown pass to Waller, right? So they cut the score. They get to 9 points. They go for the 2-point conversion. Did he throw that ball out of the back of the end zone with a 2-point conversion?
I think he did.
Like, honestly, Joe, I was going, wait a second, Tua, you've been in this league a long time. Like, you give a guy a chance to catch it.
Yeah.
Like, don't throw it into the nickel seats there in Pittsburgh. I didn't understand that play at all.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of that, a lot of misunderstanding. I mean, look, it got to the point over the last month where as soon as he pulled the ball down, it was going to be a disaster. He was either going to get sacked, he was going to throw the ball halfway up into the stands, or he's going to throw an interception. And it just got worse and worse and worse every week.
His last rushing first down was Buffalo, the third game of the year.
By the way, sliding
Is that
short,
right?
sliding short of a 3rd and 2, followed by one that he did against the Saints was brutal. Just puts the team in. I just think Mike had it. Mike's been his biggest fan, as you know.
Yeah.
How do we get this? I'm just you've seen this. You've seen the Giants and the Jets, and I guess we all share a lot in common, whether we want to admit it or not. Like, how do we find and get this fixed from top to bottom, that we're not talking about 25 years with no playoff wins, and now we're clearly the 3rd best team in the AFC East? How do we fix it, in your opinion, sitting back and?
Gosh, Joe, I mean, that's like a loaded question because, when you have so much money committed to the quarterback that you have that you're obviously going to move on from, like, nobody's going to take on that contract. They're not going to just, you're going to have to basically release him and eat the money. Now, Denver did it, Joe. Denver ate Russell Wilson's contract. It wasn't as bad as Tua's, but they ate the contract. They ended up, like, literally, they didn't sign any free agents. Like, they had 5 draft picks. Like, they didn't do anything the first year, but here they are. But they got a great coach, right? And then they drafted the right quarterback, and they had like some really good offensive linemen that were there that they kind of built around. And then, they built, if you think about it, think about Denver, when Miami scored 70 points against them, like just a couple of years ago, where they were, and where they're at now, the number 1 seed. Like that's the blueprint. Championship level coach. All right. You hit gold with the quarterback. You cut your losses from the quarterback you didn't like, which is what Miami's got to do. And you got to eat it. And then, you put a bunch of smart people in the room together to kind of build this thing out. You get yourself Patrick Surtain and, some star players. And, but that'd be the formula I'd be watching right now, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, we got a good one Thursday night football. Rams at Seattle, both 11 boy Thursday night get a jackpot. Amazon's going to be jacked up. Two best teams in NFC, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think so. Just because of how well built they both are in the trenches, Joe. Good offensive lines, very, very good active defensive lines with a lot of depth, and then they've got, the Rams probably have the MVP of the league in Matt Stafford right now with 37 touchdown passes. But, they're a tight end based offense, Joe. They dress 4 tight ends. They throw to all of them. They're all good. They all have a certain role. Parkinson caught 2 more touchdown passes last week. But Seattle's got Jackson Smith and Jigba. Nobody can cover him. In this whole league, nobody can cover that guy. So, and then they got this kid, Rashid Shaheed, at the trade deadline, who's just got, unbelievable speed. And so both teams, they have a chance to kind of go up and down the field against each other because they're so good right now.
Hey, Brian, going back to team building a little closer to home here in the AFC East. Going into this season, everyone thought New England was going to be the cellar dwellers, right? Look at what they did over the offseason. They had a good draft. Man. They had a really good draft, and they drafted, on the line of scrimmage. They had a really good, and you saw their quarterback was going to be pretty good.
Drake May.
And then they went out and they got defensive players and free agency. And boy, they just kind of flipped it. Got Vrabel, a tough guy coach, and completely flipped the switch on what everyone thought that team was going to be.
Well, they did. And then but you also have to look at the coaches they brought in. I mean, Josh McDaniels has got about five Super Bowl rings with Brady there. So you got Doug Marrone has been a long time, head coach and offensive line coach in this league. The line, I mean, they've got 2 backups playing the left guard, left tackle spot. You can't tell the difference right now. And you got a rookie in there, Jared Wilson. You got a 410-pound, right tackle. So they fixed the offensive line. They got I've talked to Drake May about this. Like what they do and what the key to Vrabel is, like he's really hard on his players. Like you really have to be accountable. Like there's no nonsense. Like I remember this kid Barmore, the nose tackle, like he was late to a meeting and he didn't play the first quarter. Like there was no argument. There was no discussion. Nobody knew about it in the media. You're just not going to play the first quarter. Like there's just no second set of rules for other players. This is how we do it. And this is how we practice. And this is what our purpose is today. Like it's just good coaching. I mean, Shula was obviously to you guys, Shula was the same way. There's no nonsense, but you also had a great deal of fun together, and you built great camaraderie from winning and being around each other. So I think he's done all. And like I love the way he coaches game day. Like if a guy has a knucklehead penalty, like he doesn't just walk off the field. Like you're going to get the stare. You're going to get Vrabel meeting you right at the sideline to fix it, make sure nothing like that happens again. And the results are what they are right now. It's a fantastic turnaround.
Hey, so you talk Matthew Stafford's the MVP. It's hard to argue. 37, 5 interceptions.
Josh Allen?
As you said.
Was Josh Allen out of the conversation?
No, Josh Allen's the one I was going to get to. Josh Allen, what he's done, 25 touchdown passes with that group, and he's run for 12. I think he leads the league at quarterbacks running for over 500 yards. How about the year Josh Allen's had, even through a little interception problem there for a while?
Went through a little dip, and the team did as well. I mean, when that guy's on the field, he gives you a chance to just win, no matter what. Like they spotted the Patriots in Foxborough, Joe, 21 points. It's 21-0 early in the second quarter, and Josh Allen went to work. And they scored touchdowns on 5 straight drives. And it wasn't all Josh, although, I mean, he threw a ball to a tight end, Joe, in the end zone. If he threw it through a car wash, the ball wouldn't have gotten wet. Like that thing spun so fast.
Yeah.
Like it went right through 4 people's hands. But he's just an amazing player. We have never really seen anybody with his kind of size, arm strength, talent, and never, knock on wood, never gets hurt. Like no matter how many guys hit him, he just gets up and goes to the next play. Like he's just a remarkable player. And look, I think this whole MVP thing is, it's a conversation, but you got to play it all the way out.
Yeah.
If somehow Buffalo wins this division and wins out right here, I mean, you have to include him in the conversation.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, so the Dolphins have now played the Steelers and Ravens and had our ass kicked by both of them, to be fair. Who do you think wins that division?
Well, Pittsburgh's got a tough game. I'll be there in Detroit this weekend. They played very well the last few weeks. Aaron's done a good job of taking care of the football. They dink and dunk with the best of them. He hasn't made very many mistakes. But I think Detroit has to win if they're going to get into the playoffs. I mean, I think Pittsburgh could still lose this game and beat Baltimore Week 18 and still win the division, get in the playoffs. I think you're going to get the very best of Dan Campbell and Detroit in this game. But I think ultimately Pittsburgh's going to win the division because that last game is in Pittsburgh between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And I think, they'll win that game at home if it's for the division.
By the way, I got to tell you, and I'm not Aaron Rodgers' biggest fan sometimes when he decides he's the smartest guy in the world and the make-believe wife and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, the guy that throws a football, the way the ball comes off his hand, I saw it twice. He played the Jets last year. He was unbelievable in both games. And in this game, he threw it like it was about 80 degrees out in a beautiful day. I mean, he just zips it.
Yeah, no, he has all the tricks, Joe. Like if he sees a defensive lineman isn't quite off the field in a exchange of personnel, like he's going to get the ball snapped. You're going to get free 5 yards, free play down the field.
Yes.
If that cornerback is 10 yards off, he's going to smoke it to that wide receiver and get 6 yards. Like he sees everything. He sees absolutely everything. And he's got eyes in the back of the head. He had this kid playing left tackle the other night, Joe. He's never played a game in his life in the NFL. He pitched a shutout. Next thing you know, there's Matt Judon was sent packing. He couldn't beat the kid. Like they sent Matt. So yeah, it certainly looked like it was a South Florida day the way he was throwing it.
Yeah, it was just incredible. Well, this is going to be fun, man, the way it plays out and stuff. Baldy, thank you so much for jumping in. By the way, Zach Wilson, three and out, right? I mean, at this point, if he's not playing, I know he's disappointed yesterday. He's going to be looking for a new home. I don't see the Dolphins having him back. Do you?
I think the reason why they put Quinn Ewers in front of him, they saw his work ethic and what he's about. I don't think he's going to be in this league very long, Joe. I know he's the second pick in the draft, but you're not going to find very many people compliment Zach Wilson in what he does to get ready for a game.
All right. Hey, bud, thank you. Appreciate you coming on, Baldy, spending some time with us. Have a great week.
See you, Kim. Yep. Take care, guys.
Brian Baldinger, also NFL insider. What do you got for us here, bud?
Yeah, that was Brian Baldinger, NFL insider, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider calls are brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide is on your side.
Let's go. Turn me up. We can now prove that
Aldinger for joining us. NFL Network does a great job, and you heard his side. Everybody got an opinion on everything going on with the Miami Dolphins and Tua and Mike and everything else. So Kim Bokamper's with us. Dave Hyde's with us. Quinn Ewers is the starter.
Yeah.
Jumped right over the top of Zach Wilson.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Dave. Is we played the Bengals this Sunday. Is Matthew McConaughey going to be on the sideline? He going to make a trip over here to his buddy and watch his buddy Quinn Ewers?
No.
Oh, are they buddies? From
No,
Texas?
anybody
from Texas.
Oh, from
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
Oh,
He was big on Quinn Ewers.
Oh, right
man.
on the side.
Boy,
That's right.
Maybe he could become a minority owner.
He can buy Fergie's minority.
Yeah,
take
Fergie
it
wants to
out.
give
We don't
hers
see
up.
them anymore.
So you know what? No.
Bo embarrassed her so
Fer-
badly
Fer-
she's out after his LA
Fergie
trip.
comes when. So the last time we went to SoFi, Fergie was out there. Both times, and nobody, like they don't even acknowledge.
It's not
her.
a big deal anymore.
No,
Red carpet.
She walks out there and she's
Remember
like
that?
looking for people to talk to.
She went to dinner with us one night, and Bo and I ripped her the whole time, telling stories, and then get back to her. Like we'd make a comment about something and go, Fergie, you know something about that. And her mouth dropped wide open. Her husband was there, who was he was all pumped up. He played quarterback in college.
He played so her
They're divorced now.
So is what's his name? He's a good actor. Been in a lot of
He's
stuff.
in a lot of stuff.
DeMille?
He's remarried.
What's his name?
Adam DeMille.
No, DeMille. It's Zach DeMille, Jack DeMille, something like that. Anyway, so he played quarterback at Minot State, which is in.
That sounds like
it's-
Pacific.
It's either in Minnesota or North Dakota.
Yeah.
And so when we were going to this dinner, and they gave us biographies of the guys, right? Of all the people that are going to be there. So I'm looking at the guy, and I go, Minot State. When I played Minnesota and played football in Minnesota my freshman year, we played against Minot State. So I waited for everyone. Everyone's got getting autographs and pictures with them, and I waited on and stopped. Said, "Hey," I said, "Hey, you played at Minot State, right?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, we kicked your ass when I played at Concordia."
He goes, "I remember." That was
Had to get the shot in.
That was a fun night, though. That was.
that was a little.
But what do you expect from Quinn Ewers? What do
I
we
don't know.
expect?
So let me ask you this: what do you think Mike is looking to see?
Run for
So
200 yards.
So is this the? Do I want to see if in these last three games? Do I want to see how Quinn Ewers plays, thinking that maybe he has maybe he's the next guy in the line, or is it just I know what Zach Wilson is? I just want, or is it just, hey, let me just put him in there and see what happens? Is there you think there's a formula that he's looking for of some sort?
Well, I think he's looking for
the number one thing is just get Tua out of there and let's
Yeah, I mean Tua has been awful, so I thought they'd stay with Tua and move on at the end of the year, but they decided to do it now. I assume he's looking for a glimmer of something that says we might have something here. Now, you're not going to get a completed product, obviously, but is there a play or two or three or four? That
I would be shocked if he play well enough to come back next year.
Oh, I'm not saying
the team we got
I'm
Quinn Ewers, and he's our number one guy.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying something that we can build on, and maybe look, they're gonna go out and I would assume find a quarterback, whether that's drafting or Mac Jones.
We've made assumptions before, Dave.
We've
made assumptions before.
You're right.
And it always goes, somehow it always goes sideways.
You know what's nuts? The Zach Wilson thing.
Yeah.
And then Baldy just said he's about done. Everybody's tired of his act and his work. I hadn't heard that before. I know what his reputation is. Going back.
But you saw what happened in Denver, where Sean Payton brought him in and made him the third quarterback. He said, no. I don't like him and let him go, which was a tip. But, you go through the cycle. This would be the third team he's been on and forget the Jets. They've been wrong on everybody.
Just look at the quarterback position. And look, I've been saying this for a number of years. This league is so starved for that franchise quarterback. And so you've got the guys like Zach Wilson, and you see it every year. And I don't think this is a big year for quarterbacks coming out. But you've got guys in the top 10 that they'll pick 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the top 10, and 3 or 4 of them should be picked in the 4th round, 5th round, 3rd round, but they're just so hungry to try to get that guy, and how they all fall by the wayside. I mean, look at over and over and over again.
They all fall by the wayside
2nd
here.
round, 3rd round. No, well, look, they've done it every
Look at
a lot of other places.
Look at New Orleans 2nd round quarterback, that Tyler Show.
Yeah,
He looked pretty good. I mean, from a guy, I'm not saying he's I'm not saying he's there, but hey, maybe we have
he's starting to look
with
closer
there.
to it the last
Yes.
couple of weeks. And,
Yes.
and by the way, he makes a great throw for them to win the game.
Yes. Yep.
Down the
It is dropped.
sideline, and his number one receiver dropped it right through the hole there.
So I don't want to hear, what we're going to hear. Oh, it's not a good year for quarterbacks. We don't look. The Dolphins have put themselves in this situation where you need a quarterback this year instead of through the recent years trying to find.
I'll give you a
someone to
good one.
develop.
I'll give you a good one that I don't think's crazy. There's going to be some pressure on this one. Jimmy Cefalo brought it up. Bo was up there with me. Mendoza drops to where we pick. Do you take him?
You know what? Football decision.
I don't know enough
your
about
football.
him.
I don't either.
I don't know enough.
I don't look towards the draft that much, but let's just assume, for the sake of argument, the Dolphins go 0 for the rest of this season.
They're 11th right now, so say they pick 8th.
So you get up to there. So I had a buddy of mine, and he's not a really big football fan, but he's a big Cub fan. He's a big Indiana fan. Went to Butler, and he's got that whole Indiana thing. And he tells me that, hey, we need to do a Mike Ditka, trade all of our draft choices and get well,
I'll tell you what,
get the quarterback.
The big
and I said, nah, you can't do that.
How about trade him for Joe Burrow?
I would do.
Why would you give up Joe Burrow? I don't care unless he just flat out says, "Get me out of here."
Well, look, he was asked, and he goes, "Oh, look, I'm." He was kind of
If there's one player in the league,
I'm going to kiss his ass to keep that guy go.
I think he would be available for the right number.
I don't think so.
I mean,
there's a shortage of these guys. Why would you get rid of Joe Burrow?
Well, what if he,
He's got to be miserable.
He pulls
Tell
that
us, Joe.
He pulls that opt out.
What if he pulls an NBA card?
Yep,
He's one of the
there
few
you go.
players who could say,
How many guys in our league do that? That's an NBA thing. How many
That's
guys
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
NFL do that?
Nobody does that, but he'd be the one guy I could. He might do it, he might have the power to.
And look, he may not be wrong, because you look at that team. There's not a lot. There's all their good players are kind of.
You got two really good receivers.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
really good.
Stay healthy and. Yeah.
He's looking at the franchise. He's had to lobby. That's right, he had to lobby to sign players.
Yeah.
And now they have by far the fewest scouts. They don't even have an official general manager.
They've always been.
I know. So at some point, if he's 29 now.
Yeah.
And he's saying, if what am I going to be stuck here for another? And I'm getting hurt every year because I'm getting pounded.
I don't know. You guys all just listen. That guy. He had a terrible game last week, but he's a top 10 guy, top 5 when he's rolling.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh no, I mean,
Why would they
after? That guy's you got to play. Well, you got to focus on him everywhere he's going to.
He got second contract. He's got big dollars come. He ain't leaving me now.
So get back to Mendoza then. Your thoughts on that?
Boy, I'll tell you.
Well, he's got the whole Miami thing.
He is the exact opposite the way he talks and everything else of our guy that we have right now, who I've had a gut full.
Or else we can go for that guy from Vanderbilt that really made an ass of himself.
The guy that said "F you," you didn't vote for me.
I tell you what, he had a pretty good.
He had pretty good stats.
Pretty good stats.
Yeah.
Pretty good season.
Yeah, no doubt.
Vanderbilt is the one team that got overlooked.
Yeah.
And they got screwed by this playoffs. But anyways, he's 5'9" too. So forget it. You know. But. Before we get to Mendoza, the Dolphins need to have a structure in place to make football decisions, right? This is a football decision.
And somebody's got big basketballs that sold.
I love Mendoza. I love how he sounds. I love how he plays. But what does that mean?
No, it doesn't. But how does that translate, right?
But here's what's happened to our team on this quarterback thing. We've liked Josh Allen, but we didn't get aggressive like the Bills did to jump over people to jump ahead of us and Arizona to take them. We now are saying we like Lamar, but, we like this guy. We like that guy. We never take him. And then the bad one is that we're going to be tied to for life is Justin Herbert and Tua going 5 and 6 in that draft.
I mean, you can go back to Matt Ryan and Jake Long. Then you get Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I mean, the Dolphins have not taken quarterback. They've been scared to take quarterback.
So you used to get fired when you missed on
So
one.
let's talk about the structure of the Dolphins.
This is it, right?
So, to me, whoever that person is, if I was Stephen Ross or I would find a guy that's going to run the football operations, right? And he's going to be the guy, and your general manager is going to pick the players, and then you're going to get your head coach to coach the players, and nothing in between. And that business guy is all about business decisions. The contract you gave to Tua when you didn't really need to do that. The situations where you gave Tua the money, those kind of things. Let a business guy.
But that's a football decision.
That's going to be
somebody should have stepped at Chris Greer, whoever the general manager, a veteran step in and say he's not. We're not.
So
doing
that's
that.
what the business that would be the head of football operations to me would be that guy. You guys do your job, but I'm going to overstep you if I think it's not the right thing. I just, just throw it. Look from and maybe so Chris Greer. Everyone's talking about Chris Greer. Who the guy before Chris Greer? What did he do? What did he do to make this team better? Mike Tannenbaum. What did he do? And who was before Mike Tannenbaum?
Dennis Hickey.
What did he do? And who was before that? Jeff Ireland. What did he do?
Nothing.
They're all part of this 25-year.
Oh no, it wasn't just one
extravaganza that we've gone through.
So let me ask you a question. What you're talking about? This is going now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the relationship is, but Brandon Shore's down on the sideline.
Yeah.
What's Brandon Shore's job? I thought it was contracts.
It's contract.
What is it?
It's contracts. And by right.
Does Brandon Shore tell Chris, this is a lot of money. We're chewing up a lot. Brandon Shore knows the cap's inside now.
I get it. Look. I'm gonna throw my thing would be I put Tom Garfinkel at the top of the pack. You're the business guy. You've been in NASCAR. You've been in baseball. You've been in F1. You've been in 10.
It was Tom's idea to tank. It was Tom's idea
all
to
this
tank.
stuff.
He does have a say, and he's super smart and all.
Right.
Is he a football guy?
But I would make him.
Bo's talking about his structure.
I'm
of
talking
business
about
in general.
about business structure.
Yeah.
Of a guy that
Tom's not going to jump in and start telling people to take that wide receiver.
I get that.
No, don't take that guy. But when you come up and you come to him. When Mike comes to him, Chris Greer comes to him. So we want to give Tua $212 million. Absolutely not. Here's what you need to do. You need to let him play 8 games. We'll see what happens. And if he plays well, we'll give you.
So let me ask you.
That's
a great point, though. So I wonder, knowing Tom sees us screaming and coach saying pay Tua, and Brandon Shore's involved and Chris. I wonder if Tom tried to step in and go, hey, guys, this is not a good move, man.
Well, somebody was in there blocking the move because remember,
it didn't happen.
Mike had to pound the table.
Yeah, right.
He had to pound. Who was he pounding it? So there was opposition.
Well, so if you remember, I remember the situation clearly. He went out and he said, I'm gonna throw during training camp. After day 1, I'm not throwing anymore until I get a contract. And they put in who do we have last year? Mike White and Skylar Thompson. Right after that practice, Mike ran upstairs. Hey, we need to sign Tua. Next day, they gave him a $212 million contract.
Yeah,
enough said. Right.
All right, listen, we got to go to break here. We got this. We all got in a deep thought, different opinions about how to fix things,
but we're all in agreement that structure
matters.
You know what? It matters the person they hire. Yeah. If John Harbaugh or Sean Payton were out there, you'd hire them and it'd settle everything.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, they would be the structure.
Yeah, stay with me. Both keep your thoughts. You got it when we come back. We'll take a quick break right after this. We'll see you.
The Joe Rose Show is presented
Back, everybody. We got Leroy in here, but got an opinion on this
Leroy
whole thing.
Don't know. Leroy,
Hey, Leroy knows about one
I know
thing.
it was cold up in Cleveland, but Leroy was a little soft up there.
I'll tell you one thing
You
about
have
Leroy.
4 hours to talk about that.
I'll tell you one thing about
banging
Leroy.
on the window right
yeah,
now. He wants to get
don't
to my
worry.
neck.
Don't worry about Leroy.
No,
but Leroy
was
brings
tough.
up one thing.
Tough, isn't it?
He was tough.
I remember I played golf with Leroy one time, and it was just when he got done playing football. And I'm looking at him, and he's getting ready to swing the club, and I'm looking at his biceps, and they look like a piece of wire just strapped in there, ready to burst. I go, man, this guy's playing golf. Glad I didn't have to play football against him.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, so he was just talking about Stephen Ross, the amount of money he spends, and he was with Cleveland.
Yeah.
He said, don't spend money. Cincinnati, don't spend money, to what we were talking about before.
There must be something about because the Bengals don't spend money either.
No, that's why I said Cincinnati and Cleveland
None.
don't spend the money. So you have that situation. And hey, listen, we've got this palace right next to Hard Rock Stadium, and it deserves a hell of a lot better. And the amount of unlimited money that they are given, Bo, to stay extra days, the best food, the best everything. They rank number one in everything, and we can't even make the playoffs.
I feel bad for him. And then
Mr. Ross deserves better.
He does,
but he's got to make better decisions. Got to make some good decisions here, man, or somebody in the family or somebody around them.
That's where it starts. Look at the football hires they've had. They just haven't been good enough, and then there's the direct line to problems on the field.
So we've had VP of football operations, and we've had a GM underneath, and an assistant GM to the head coach, and the head coach has had too much say. I mean, we can write a book on some of this stuff.
Nobody would read it, but you could write it.
Nobody read it. Well, we had all those draft picks. I still remember, Bo, I told Dave this morning. All those draft picks for 2 years.
Yeah.
And we used some of them we traded.
Yeah.
Some of them down the road we traded for what we got with Jalen, and we had to give up a number.
Well, you got the big Laramie Tunsil. You got a ton of people from that, right?
Yeah. Got one for Minka.
Yeah.
Got a one for Minka. And all that stuff, we're just spinning our wheels, Bo. We're just
look at everybody talks the great Laramie Tunsil. Look at just trying to replace Laramie Tunsil. What they did. Austin Jackson, first round pick. Leon Eichenberg, a second and third round pick.
Oh, they all started at left tackle.
Yeah. Minor D. Yeah. Then you get out and you spend big money on the free agent Armstead, who's in and out. Teron Armstead, a great player.
So you had a Hall of Famer that should be in Richmond Webb, and then was Jake Long? Because he was a first round pick. Yeah. He was the first pick in the draft.
First pick in the draft,
and he was good, but he
got hurt. He broke down.
And then you had, and then who did you have after that? You had a pretty good lineage of left tackles there for a while, and then all of a sudden, not so much. But I think this guy's going to be really good for a long time.
It seems like it, yeah. And you know what?
We never talk about Patrick Paul, which is good.
Yeah, when you listen to Patrick Paul talk, he sounds like someone who wants to be really good.
No. He's a tough guy.
Yes,
he's a tough guy. He's not.
He's got the right mindset, and
you speak to him, and you almost feel like you're speaking to a Rhodes Scholar.
Yes,
but the message is, I'm gonna bust your ass.
His message is on target.
Yes.
He sounds very smart.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the body. That's what a left tackle
and
looks
he's huge.
like.
Yeah.
That's a big man.
Look, I watched him, and I asked him one time, and I said, you talk a lot of trash out there. He says, you darn right I do. I've seen him pushing guys, and he's what you want.
Can I tell you another guy we got to get going that's just not getting it done? I know he's got 3.5 sacks right now. It's Chop Robinson.
No.
We're not getting what
you don't
we
build
should.
your resume on half sacks, No. And look, I just he made there's a couple of unfortunate things that happened that so Chop benefited really a lot from Teron Armstead and Calais Campbell. They figured it out for him. Hey, you need to widen out a little bit. You need to get that tackle moving out to give you a two-way go. And so that's after when he started doing that, he gets these six sacks, which I guess that's a big thing now in the league, getting 6 sacks in a year.
That was sarcasm. That was both sarcasm right there.
But so now he comes back, and now you're expecting really big things from him, and he's literally done. He wasn't very good in the run game last year, and I don't think he's improved very much. Although I hear people saying he's improving on that, and I don't see it. And so there's another guy you got that you expected a lot this year that you didn't get out of it. And then you got the guys like Jordan Brooks and Terrell Dotson that you go, okay, they're guys. No. These guys are guys.
They're great. Jordan Brooks is all pro.
I bring those two linebackers back to play with each other all day. Sacks, tackles.
No doubt.
And you have to hope with Chop that, I remember talking to Jason Taylor, and I'm not obviously not comparing him to Jason Taylor, but when Jason was going in the Hall of Fame, was talking to him and about his career, and he goes, my second or third year, I got caught up in South Florida, and I didn't play well.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying Chop got caught, but for whatever reason, sometimes it's not a straight line up. So we'll see with Chop. Big year for him next year.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, man, I always say this about first-round picks. Congratulations. You're a first-round pick. You get a nice, big, fat signing bonus before you ever play. But you better be good because everybody knows you're a first-round pick.
Yeah, it hangs around your neck. Man.
Yeah.
Well, what about this year's? What do we think of this year's first, Kenneth Grant?
You know what? I've seen Biggers, and I've seen Jalen Phillips play a little bit more better. At first, they put Grant right in there, and then all of a sudden, those guys, those three guys have kind of gone, up and down, kind of a mixture. But I like all three of them. I think, and look, even Jonah. I think Jonah, who hasn't really played very well, is, to me, he's like Patrick Paul last year. Patrick Paul played. Fortunately, he got to play a lot of snaps because Armstead was, and that I think that helped him be who he is now because he's seen things. It's a whole different game at that line. But and I think Jonah's seen a lot, and he's been beat up a lot. But I think that offseason, he's got the. When I spoke to him a couple of times in some of these pregame meetings, whatever, production meetings, he's got the right mindset of what he wants to do, get better and better. And hopefully this season is going to make him, this offseason is going to make him a lot better.
I was talking to Daniel Brunskill about him last week, and Brunskill said the progression of him from the first month and a half of the season to now, he's at the light bulbs going on.
As long as you don't lose your confidence and you keep working and your mindset is I'm gonna be good.
Yeah.
Then and he'll come back. I agree. From year one to year two, he'll come back a different guy. Second year, as long as he keeps going. You lose your confidence. We've had some number one picks, first picks, lose confidence. We got a defensive end that played for us, who we took in the first round. We've taken a couple of them.
Yeah.
Lost their confidence. Just didn't have it. Anyway, hey, guys, man, this has been fun. Thank you, guys, both. Dave Hyde with us this morning. Kim Bokamper with us.
UM or Texas A&M?
UM's going to win this game because Texas A&M's talking a lot of trash up there. Oh, Lord, are they talking trash? What do you think, Bo?
Yeah, I like UM.
Does Miami need to win to validate their getting into the playoff?
So. Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
And if you beat them, that's validation because that's a good football team. They're going to
on the road too. You know, that's
should be a hell of a game. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. I hope so. What do you think, Dave? Gonna be honest. Don't worry.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'll pick Miami to be a homer, but I'm with you.
My second game I'm looking for is Oregon and James Madison.
I'll pick that one. Pick that one.
By the way,
Oregon. I'm going to
James
go with
Madison. By the way, two teams got in, Tulane and James Madison. Enjoy your day.
You got Notre Dame sitting out there.
Yeah,
that's a travesty.
No, that's bad. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow for Football Friday.
WQ.